making sense of investing. By your quality Ford dealers. By Budweiser, great times are waiting, designated driver. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, make it your first choice for quality tires and expert auto service. And by the Bommarito Automotive Group, where price sells cars. The Edward Jones Dome here, week 4 of the preseason. Welcome in, everybody. Andrew Siciliano, Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ross Tucker here as well, as the Rams are ready to wrap up the preseason and take on the Baltimore Ravens and finally get ready for next week and the Detroit Lions. The fourth member of our crew, Maurice Drummond, on the field with a little FaceTime. FaceTime brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Maurice.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Here with the man in the middle, James Laurinaitis. James, Coach Fisher said there's going to be extended playing time for the starters tonight. What does that mean for the defense as well as trying to sharpen things up defensively?
We give them a work, another opportunity to get better. That's how I look at it.
All right, thanks a lot.
All righty.
Okay, that's James Laurinaitis. We'll send it back to you.
And James Laurinaitis, give him credit. He is brief and he is to the point as the Rams get ready to take on John Harbaugh here and the Ravens. It's business, guys, right? It's
Man's
business.
ready to play, right?
Man of few words. He's all action. You know, it's rare to see a starter like Laurinaitis, a guy who's a captain, as you see him out there now for the coin toss, be that focused for a fourth and final preseason game. I think that tells you the mindset a little bit of the Rams tonight.
I think it's more of they're a young team, and from Thursday till 2 Sundays from, I mean, just think of how much time there is before you play a real game. So they need to get ramped up. They need to be out there playing. Practice is already cut down, but guess what? You don't want to be doing this.
Well, the Rams win the toss, and guys, they will receive. So certainly Jeff Fisher has his team ready, and he would like to see his offense ready. As Sam Bradford in that offense last week really didn't do much in Dallas. Matter of fact, they did next to nothing.
No, they didn't. I think that's one of the reasons why they're going to play as much as they are tonight. He wants to make sure they're ready for Detroit. And getting back to what Marshall said, it is a long time before they actually play Detroit. And as Jeff Fisher told us today when we were talking with him, that's too long of a spread between the third preseason game and the first regular season game for him to really feel comfortable. That's why he likes to play his starters.
And let's just try to make sense of this. Let's be honest. If your team isn't playing bad and you have one more game to go out and against live bullets and right the wrongs, why don't you take advantage of it? How do you rest guys after what we saw last week? I like what Jeff did.
No, you know, Fisher made the point, too, that he made the comparison to a marathon, 26.2 miles. And anyone who's ever run one, and I certainly have not, but my brother has and a lot of close friends have, you don't run just 2 miles in your warm-up. You push it further and further and further, and then you finally get ready for that big day, as the Rams are trying to get ready for that big day as well, as Justin Tucker kicks off. And here is the rookie, Isaiah Peed, takes it just in front of the goal line and runs it out left, turns it upfield, 20-25, and that is where the Rams will start it off. Here is Sam Bradford in this offense we talked so much about in Rams countdown to kickoff in the preseason, 19 of 35, 223, and a couple of touchdowns. Last week, tried to get in sync with Danny Amendola, moved the ball a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, the best that we saw was 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was. And against KC, you saw the ball come out of his hands quick. You saw the ball live. You saw the timing routes. They were in sync. Against Dallas, we did not see that.
And you saw a lot of Steven Jackson against Kansas City. He has 11 carries in the preseason. Did not carry it last week in Dallas, but here is his first today. Gets about 5 yards across the 30, call it the 31. Tonight's starting lineups on the Rams Broadcasting Network are brought to you by Bud Light. It is the sure sign of a good time. Bud Light, here we go. Most notably, Brian Madison in there at right guard. Also going to see Rock Watkins, the rookie, and Scott Wells gets his second consecutive start. We saw him for the first time last week in Dallas as he recovered from some off-season knee surgery. And there is Scott Wells there as the Rams get it on 2nd and 4. And again, it's Steven Jackson in the backfield. We're going to see a lot of Steven, a lot of Richardson, a lot of Peed, and a lot of the ground game tonight here for the Rams. Albert McClellan makes the tackle as it's mostly that second-string Ravens defense. He gets to the 37.
Marshall, when you were playing, how many carries did you want to get in the preseason?
It didn't really matter. It was all about touches for me, even in games. It was all about touching the football because the offense I played in There was times, I mean, I went a whole half without getting the handoff at times, so I had to be active in the passing game. So it was all about touches.
How about this? Isaiah P. takes the shotgun, direct snap, and he gets stood up and goes nowhere. Flag on the far side of the field. It's Donnell Ellerby in there for the tackle, but some trickery. It's not all vanilla tonight. David White is our referee with the first flag of the night.
Well, they tried to go a little bit of the wildcat, something that Brian Schottenheimer did with Brad Smith with the New York Jets. Just another way to try to get Isaiah P. the ball in space, give him some room to run, but he didn't catch the ball clean.
No,
he didn't look comfortable.
Didn't get a clean snap there, and then slipped. Bobbled the ball in with the slip. And let's see what happens here.
Flag was on the far side of the field near the Ravens bench. They're trying to sort it out. There's Brian Schottenheimer, and again, the Rams said they would keep it vanilla, but it can't hurt to put something on tape for next week.
The foul is illegal formation on the offense. Penalties decline. Second down.
You hear Jeff Fisher arguing with that crew. He says it's not illegal. It's an unbalanced formation. Guys, what do we see?
Well, actually, that's exactly what it is. You have the tight end to the left, and the tackle's moved over. The tackle's covered up. The in-man on the line of scrimmage is covered up. That's
and on the top side, it was Mulligan, who's a tight end, number 82. That's an eligible receiver.
Here we have it, Steve in the backfield again. Sam's first throw of the night is lofting left side, and that is a catch. Near the first down marker, it's Gibson. He has it, first down.
Let's just say this. Last week, Jeff Fisher argued that call to try to get it for the Rams against Dallas, and now I believe that call just bit him.
Yeah. And he didn't get that one late in the second quarter against Dallas on what should have been an Orton fumble. This one's good for 14 to Gibson.
Yeah, and a healthy Gibson here is something that Sam Bradford needs to see. Along with having Amendola back, having Gibson back is huge. And what a good route there by Brandon Gibson.
And bobbled it a bit. Kerry Williams hit it, but no replay. It's a first down, 49-yard line here for the Rams as Mike McNeil goes in motion. Here's Steven again. 3 carries early, pushing across midfield to the 46.
And I think it's important to note, guys, that was Brandon Gibson running that route against Kerry Williams. That's one of their starting cornerbacks. You look out there and you see Paul Kruger, who's the starter, Terrence Cody, who's the starter. So the Ravens are actually playing more of their starting defense than we anticipated.
Let's call it 5 for Steven Jackson. As for the starters, again, we've told you, Fisher says for most, if not all, the first half, maybe even a series here into the third quarter. Chris Givens, the rookie wide receiver from Wake Forest, in motion, lines up on the left side of the line here. On second down, Bradford runs the play clock down to 3. Tall in the pocket, Sam guns right, incomplete, wanted Amendola, 33-yard line.
And right there, boy, I mean, that was a good throw by Sam, but Jimmy Smith did a really good job at reading the route by Danny Amendola. Amendola, this is a route you see the corner sitting down on you, where you have to race back out of the break. And Jimmy Smith did a good job. Still a catchable ball. Still a catchable ball.
And I like the start of it, Marshall. I like the pass protection there. I mean, Sam had all kinds of time. 2nd and 5 is a good down to do that. Now it brings up a big third down. They did not convert these last week.
And on third down, Bradford's going to go into the shotgun. Steve Smith in motion. Sam roll to the right, throw that way, incomplete. He wanted Smith on the 40.
Boy, the timing of that route was just all bad by Steve Smith. He came in motion. The ball was snapped before he squared up to the line of scrimmage. You know, Sam, I understand they want to get the ball out of his hands quickly, but right there, you got to give your receiver enough time to get to the edge of the line of scrimmage, square up, and then run that route.
I think he threw it before Steve Smith even got his head around.
Steve wasn't ready.
He saw the ball.
Was not ready.
There's rookie punter Johnny Hecker. He has put 4 inside the 20 so far in the summer. This one might be his 5th. Asa Jackson calls for the fair catch on the 11-yard line. That's where the Ravens will start. We'll find out how many of their starters on the offensive side are going to play tonight after we get back. No score early on. First downs on their first drive, but end up with a Johnny Hecker punt, pinning the Ravens inside the 20-yard line, and that's where we begin here. The Rams' first defensive possession. First time the Ravens get the ball, no score early on, 11:49 remaining. First quarter here at the Edward Jones Dome. No Joe Flacco tonight. In at quarterback is the second-year QB out of Virginia Tech, Tyrod Taylor, and he's going to hand off to Bernard Pierce, the rookie out of Temple. Nice little wiggle there, getting around right side. And Pierce is going to get to the 20. It's a gain of 8. James Laurinaitis in that first team D there to make the tackle. Your Rams starting lineups brought to you by Bud Light. And defensively, as we mentioned, you are going to see the guys that you have seen the entire preseason, and you will see next week as well. Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Bud Light, here we go. In the defensive backfield, Janoris Jenkins out there again with the starters after a rough week last week. The Rams actually missed 13 tackles a week ago. Here, though, strong tackle by Craig Dahl, but Pierce gets first down yardage to the 28.
Yeah, I think Rocky McIntosh used the wrong shoulder on this. Watch the gap here. He's got the C gap. He's got to use his outside shoulder there, Marshall, keep his outside arm open.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's nobody for the C gap right there. I think Rocky might have misplayed that one.
It's either that or the safety should have been filling that gap,
Right.
but he was maybe looking for more play action there.
That was Bruce Figgins, the third-string tight end, working here with the first-string unit there, who had the block on McIntosh. First time Taylor is going to throw. Not yet. He's going to run and makes a nice move. Gets by Jenkins and then tiptoes out of bounds at midfield. Janoris Jenkins was grasping for air.
And this is the element that this defense hasn't faced yet, a quarterback that can run as good as Tyrod Taylor can. I mean, you have to stay in your lanes. The one thing you want to do is set the stage by the push up the middle. The guys around the outside don't get too far. There's no sense in running behind a quarterback that can run. You run behind him, he's going to find lanes and gash you.
It's a gain of 22. Taylor came in the leading rusher for the Ravens in the preseason. Pierce looks good, though, here. He gets around right end. Bernard Pierce, 11 yards to the 39.
I was telling you guys before the game, there's something unique about starters playing against second string. I've been a part of this a couple times, and it's just weird. You look at the Rams guys, they want to be ready to play, Marshall. They've got the right attitude, but they're coming out flat. I mean, Bernard Pierce is averaging 9 or 10 yards a clip at this point.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the ball in the air yet. I mean, they're just running the football right now.
Baltimore's run it 4 times, guys, for 49 yards, and here now is a 5th carry again by Pierce, but Chris Long is there, strings it out and brings him down to the backfield. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, that's more like it. Chris Long stood up the right tackle. He had the C gap, which is the outside. He stuffed the tackle back towards the line of scrimmage and still was able to get off and make the play. Maybe that's exactly what the Rams needed to get the defense going.
And albeit we said that they weren't going to play a lot of their starters, for the most part, I believe their offensive line, other than Matt Burke, they're playing. And that's why you see the effectiveness in the run game.
Now we have a new running back, though. Pierce goes to the sideline, and this is Bobby Rainey around right end. Rocky McIntosh there to push him out of bounds. Bobby Rainey, most people think is going to make the team as a third-string tailback here, has 10 catches, believe it or not, for over 100 yards out of the backfield as an undrafted rookie out of Western Kentucky here early on for Baltimore. But they string it out, brings up third down. 3rd and long. Rainey stays in there. 3rd and 15. Coming up on 9 minutes to go. No score early on here at the Edward Jones Dome. Shotgun for Taylor. Over the middle. Caught. That's Tandon Doss. Doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Cortland Finnegan's there.
Well, that's exactly what you do on 3rd and long. You play zone, you let them catch the ball underneath you, and then you make the tackle. Cortland Finnegan was one of the guys that missed a tackle last week. You got to make these tackles. That's exactly what he did. That's why it's so important to stuff the run on 1st down and get him in 3rd and long.
Again, we mentioned 13 missed tackles last week in Dallas. As Jeff Fisher said, it's better to get them out of the way in the preseason and have to worry about that week 1 next week on the road in Detroit. Chase Reynolds in to return this punt here for the Rams. He stands alone to the 8-yard line. Sam Cook, Pro Bowl alternate a couple of years ago, in to punt as the clock is winding and the play clock is now down to 5. Here it is. Reynolds will let it bounce on the 14 down right around the 11. But there's a flag. Hold on. Flag down to the 37-yard line.
And boy, listen, you almost had a block there. And Chase Reynolds, that's the ball. I mean, you don't want to let that ball hit the ground. That ball can easily creep inside the 10 and take a bad bounce. That was a ball. It was up high enough. You need to run up underneath that ball and have confidence that you can catch it.
See what the call is. David White.
Illegal use of hands on receiving team number 43. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
There's Craig Dahl with the penalty. It was Aaron Brown who almost blocked it. The rookie out of Hawaii. Here he comes off left end. Didn't get there. Rams deep in their own territory when we get back. Here early on, about halfway through the first quarter at the Edward Jones Dome. That's Steven Jackson. He and the Rams first team offense still out there, but backed up in their own territory, 6-yard line. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Jeff Fisher says he's going to play his starters, whether it's offense or defense, for the entire first half and maybe into the third quarter. Rams kept it on the ground for the most part on their first drive, got across midfield, got a couple of first downs, but eventually had to plumb. That's Ogie the Haley wide to the right, and the fullback now comes in motion, stays in the backfield as Sam hands to Steven, lowers his shoulder, and gets maybe 3 yards out to the 10-yard line. Keys to the game from Marshall, brought to you by Vinson Mortgage Group, the name you know and trust. Marshall?
After watching the Rams last week, I believe on offense, it's sustained drives. I'm talking about convert those third and mediums, third and shorts, and stay out of third and longs. On defense, no explosive plays. Man, so many explosive plays last week with the bust coverage, broken tackles. No explosive plays in containing the Baltimore Ravens.
Let's see if they can sustain a drive here. 2nd and 6, Steven again. We're going to see a lot on the ground today. Steven, Darrell Richardson, Isaiah Peed, Chase Reynolds, whomever. Here, Steven gets 2 yards. Steven came into the preseason with only 11 carries. Didn't touch the ball last week, but he wasn't there for passing downs to block.
Yeah, and he's looked good this preseason. He looks fresh. He has a nice bounce to him. He looks like his weight is down. He looks more explosive. And I like the way he looks in the passing game, picking up blocks.
Steven tonight, 5 carries, 24 yards early on for the Rams. Now 3rd and 4. Steven again off the draw. Flag is down in the backfield. Steven has the first down to the 24, but this might be coming back.
This is going to be a hold against the Rams, and this is probably one of those holds that the replacement refs have been calling that I don't really like very much.
Holding, offense, number 59. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Replay third down.
They're going to get Robert Turner for the hold, and it wipes off a gain of 12.
Turner's done a nice job for the Rams so far, filling in center. Watch him at right guard, pull to the left. Brendan Ayanbadejo will long shoulder it, and they'll go down together. Yeah, that's not a hold. That might be a hold at D3 or high school, but that's not a hold.
That is not a hold. That is not a hold.
It's called a hold here, though, by David White's crew. The replacement officials still working, and it backs the Rams up to basically the original line of scrimmage back on the 6. So now 3rd and 10. Bradford stands on the 1, takes the shotgun snap, little head and shoulder fake, goes deep, right sideline. Steve Smith catches it midfield, across midfield to the 48. He fell down, but came down somehow with that football. A gain of 46.
Listen, Sam Bradford did a great job at getting that ball up and out of his hand early. And Steve Smith, look, great protection. Now get the ball up early. He's just running by the defender, and what a great catch. That's the reliable and dependability of Steve Smith. That's why you have this guy on your team.
And what a great sign, Marshall, that Steve Smith is healthy. You know, being able to beat Jimmy Smith deep like that, that's exactly what the Rams need this year.
Jimmy Smith, the second-year corner out of Colorado, high pick a year ago for Steve Smith. That's his 5th catch of the preseason. Play fake to Stevens. Sam's going to go off top again. This one, though, incomplete over the head of his tight end, Mike McNeil.
You know, there's good throwaways. And that was a good throwaway. That ball, he understood that the defender was underneath the receiver, but he needed to get the ball out of his hands. So you throw the ball away. That was a good throwaway by Sam. First down. Listen, you gave it up. Right now, 2nd and 10.
He threw that where if Mulligan made a miraculous catch, great. If not, it's an incompletion.
Mike Mulligan there, not Mike McNeil. And now Mulligan comes to the sideline as it's 2nd down. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Rams across midfield for the 2nd time today. Still Jackson and Haley in the backfield. Sam to throw again. Wants Pettis, and by the time Pettis turned around, the ball's on the outside, couldn't get it.
It looked like a little communication error there. Sam was expecting Pettis to plant and turn outside, and looked like Pettis planted and turned inside. And I mean, Sam, pretty accurate quarterback. He's not off this much. I mean, he doesn't miss that bad.
Now, what happens there, Marshall? Is that a read? Does Pettis have the option to turn in or turn out?
It's the ball is thrown away from the defender, so Pettis should have pivoted and then released back downhill outside, away.
Brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 again. Rams 1 for 2 on 3rd down. Sam throws complete, and guess what? Make it 2 for 3 on 3rd down as Mike McNeil picks up the first down yardage. He's fighting for a job.
I like this guy, the local boy. He's always making plays. He's made a bunch of plays against the Kansas City Chiefs as well. He was the hot on that one. He makes one guy miss. Ian Badejo cannot get there. I like what McNeil does, Marshall, after he catches the ball.
Yeah, getting north and south. That always stop the question of if you got the first down or not.
Rooting for Mike McNeil from Kirkwood, Rams season ticket holder as a kid, trying to make this team. 5th catch of the preseason, gets it to the 36-yard line. Sam to throw again up the play fake, all kinds of time. There's Mahaley out of the backfield. He turns it upfield, and he turns it loose. Lowers his head across the 15.
I just love it when the fullback gets his hands on the football. Listen, they preach, give me the football. They preach, throw me the football. And you put the football in Obi Mahaley's hands. And just watch the big boy rumble. I'm telling you right now, Sam Bradford's going to be upset. He had Mike McNeil on a corner route that was wide open, but he went to the fullback, and boy, he delivered.
Gain of 23. Ran over Christian Thompson after going through Ian Badejo. So the Rams now inside the 15-yard line. Steven running right, string it out, brought down near the line of scrimmage, number 50 there. Albert McClellan, 2nd-year linebacker out of Marshall.
Just getting back to the Obi Mahaley catch and run. What I love about that, Marshall, and you know this, all those guys in high school were studs. In high school, you know, which is starting around here soon, those guys probably had 2,000 yards running people over. Now in the NFL, what do they get the ball? Twice every 5 games or so?
Mahaley, a Pro Bowler with the Falcons a couple of years ago, actually a former Raven. He has more career receptions out of the backfield than he does carries as a fullback. Bradford, shotgun, 2nd down, all kinds of time. Complete. Pettis trying to get to the pylon. He dives. Put him up. Touchdown.
Boy, I'm talking about that ball got out of Sam Bradford's hand and into Pettis' hand so quick that the defender could not respond to the throw. Now this linebacker, he's going to see the throw, but he can't. The ball is thrown so quick, he cannot respond to it. That's getting the ball out of your hands quick. And I like Austin Pettis. Just you run across the middle as fast as you can, get to the other side. When you clear, you look. Great throw and catch. Touchdown.
It is a 14-yard touchdown, and he made a fantastic leap into the end zone as well. The top across the pylon as the extra point is up and good, capping off a 9-play, 94-yard drive. That is sustained drive you're looking for?
I saw the 3rd downs converted. We got it.
7-0 Rams on top of the Ravens. A 14-yard touchdown, capping off a 94-yard drive for the Rams, and they are on the board, starting well offensively, as they did 2 weeks ago when we were here at the Edward Jones Dome, and the Rams were able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So 7-0 early, 3:07 remaining here, first quarter. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ross Tucker, I'm Andrew Siciliano, as the Rams are wrapping up the preseason and getting ready next week for week 1, when it's for real, when they take on the Detroit Lions. Health, a huge issue, but the Rams are going to play their starters for the entire first half. Bernard Pierce there set to return this kick for the Ravens. He is the 2nd-string tailback up to start tonight in place of Pro Bowler Ray Rice. Deep kick, but Pierce will take it out. Why not? 5-10 to the sideline, 15, slips and goes down around the 17-yard line. Craig Dahl down there on special teams. Before Tyrod Taylor takes the field for another Ravens offensive possession, we take a timeout with a Austin Pettis touchdown. Nothing here. Rams on top of the Ravens. Edward Jones Dome, 3:02 remaining first quarter. Tonight's Rams injury report brought to you by Washington University sports medicine specialists and Barnes Jewish Hospital, team physicians for the St. Louis Rams. Harvey Dahl not out there again today on that offensive line. Darian Stewart again unable to get on the field in the secondary. Lance Kendricks didn't dress either for the Rams at tight end. The Ravens going with their second string team, including Bernard Pierce, who's thrown down in the backfield. All kinds of penetration there by Long and Laurinaitis and by Langford.
And I'll tell you what I really like about that. Chris Long is going against Ravens second-round pick Kelechi Osemele. Look at him. He just jacks him up into the line, and Pierce didn't have anywhere to go because Langford came free. He had to try to go outside. That's called being stuck between a rock and a hard place right there for Pierce.
That's setting the edge.
And it's setting it for a loss of 6. Backing him up, 2nd and 16. Taylor again hands it off, and again it's Pierce. The Ravens made no secret about it before the game. Not only did they not want to play their starters, they were going to run, and run often tonight.
And it's always interesting to see how the opposing team treats that, because a lot of times they know in the 4th preseason game, Marshall, that you're going to run a lot, so the safeties start to get really nosy, knowing that a lot of runs are coming.
But I like what Jeff Fisher and his defense has done. I mean, he's allowing his front 7 to handle this, because that's how it's going to be during the regular season.
This is a passing down here at 3rd and 13. Laquan Williams wide to the left. Ball out. Ball's on the turf. Tyrod Taylor got hit as he threw. Rams pointing the other direction. They're still pushing and shoving as they try to sort it out.
Boy, you want to talk about getting a jump. Robert Quinn got a great jump.
And Robert Quinn comes up with the
got
football.
A great jump. I'm talking about got a great jump on the snap. Man, he beat the tackle, and it was almost as if he was on air. That's how quick he got off the ball just now. Man, in the words of Mark Jackson, Mama, there goes that man. Look at him dip the shoulder, get around on top right there. Ball out, that's a sack strip. Warren Sapp State Church's money's on the ground, and he got the football.
He beat Ishmaeli Kitchen.
Yeah, say that again.
Ishmaeli Kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
Sack, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He got in his kitchen.
All right, we'll just call him Kitchen.
Kitchen. All right, well, they're going to review it. As
I don't know
you
what
hear
they're
the boos.
reviewing.
Well, there's nothing to review. All turnovers are reviewed, but you would think that that one would have been done by now, right?
This is not one where he has to go under the hood. To
Well,
me,
the only thing they can look at,
the guy should say, I mean, is it empty hand?
is his arm moving forward.
Oh, no.
That's a
No.
fumble.
Ball out.
That's a fumble. That's a fumble. But last week we thought we knew what some of the replays would be, and it turns out
I know I'm right.
I know you know you're right, and I know that you're right. We'll see. 7-0.
The field is confirmed. First down, St. Louis.
Marshall said he was right. We knew Marshall was right. He was right. Robert Quinn, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
Boy, he looks the part to me, Marshall. I mean, he looked the part a little bit last year in the preseason, but this guy gets it. And this week, unlike last week, when he gets there, he swipes down with the right arm. That's exactly what we're looking for.
The old meet me at the quarterback routine as Chris Long was there as well. Rams get a new tailback. The rookie Darrell Richardson checks in. A lot of second teamers in there. As the Rams send Britton Miller in motion, he did not start. Mahaley did. Here's the handoff. Richardson really nowhere to go. Keeps the legs turning. Gets back near the line of scrimmage.
Man, that was a good run. Richardson's in before P. That's a surprise to me. I mean, I'm believing that Richardson has kind of caught ground with Isaiah Pete, and they want to take a look at Richardson with the ones.
Darrell Richardson the last couple of weeks has taken some first-team snaps in practice, and here getting in as the second tailback as the Rams get a 2nd and goal around the 7-yard line here. Still the rookie from Abilene Christian, 7th round pick in the backfield. He releases. Bradford throws. Touchdown. Sam Bradford, 2nd touchdown pass of the day. This one, Danny Amendola.
I'm telling y'all at home, the ball's coming out of Sam's hand with some velocity. I mean, I can hear that ball hit the hands of Amendola up here.
Well, and he showed good patience because the Ravens only rushed 3 and dropped 8, so he waited until just when Danny Amendola was going to clear that one defender. That's the 2nd crossing route, Marshall, that Sam timed up perfectly so his receiver could catch it and still get into the end zone.
It's a 2-play drive after the sudden change. The Robert Quinn forced fumble and fumble recovery. Bradford gets the team out there, and in 2 plays, takes him into the end zone. 2nd touchdown pass today for Bradford, the 1st to Pettis, this one Amendola, and now Greg Zuerlein with the extra point. 14-0, 54 seconds left.
And I mean, the route is, I mean, we have to give some kudos to Amendola on the route. He sold the route, pushed it outside, came back underneath, and right there, I mean, there's the blankie into the end zone.
The blankie.
I thought it was Binky.
No, blankie.
I've heard it both ways. Binky is that what you had as a kid?
No,
Russ?
actually, Binky is like the pacifier.
Oh,
so you're
okay.
right.
No,
Binky's a pacifier. He's the blankie.
Yeah, he's the blankie. It's his comfort zone.
Security
he's comfortable. Yes, there you go.
Danny Amendola had 5 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown coming into the game of the preseason. Here is his 2nd touchdown. And again, he only had 5 catches last year. Hurt that elbow week 1. There's a thought, at least for a while, that he'd be able to come back and play through it. He was unable to, eventually injured reserve, and his season ended really before it even started. 1 game, 5 catches, 45 yards, but you can't forget that 2 years ago, as that security blanket, he had 85 catches.
Yeah, and he was off to a pretty good start. I mean, for the first game, 5 catches, 45 yards, and everything just went downhill after that.
Yeah,
they got so decimated by injury in that game.
They had Philadelphia on their heels in that game. If you remember, Steven Jackson breaks a run. Danny Amendola, 5 catches. Sam Bradford, they're moving the ball down the field, and then the injuries happened.
Not trying to bring up bad memories, but Steven on that run pulled up lane before he got into the end zone.
Yes.
Yeah. And it kind of all fell apart from there, but a new season, a new attitude, a new hope here. As Pierce brings it out of the end zone, 10, 15. You hear the hit from up here. That ball's out. Ball's out on the 17-yard line, except they're saying he was down. Chase Reynolds had to hit with the flag down as well. See what David White's crew has to say about this one. The flag was back
I'm
on the
wondering,
34 on the other side of the field.
I'm wondering if they formed a wedge with more than 2 guys.
Well, the flag's back here, though.
Wow.
I guess they could throw it from back here. I say back here on the Rams side of the field. Fisher's waiting.
Long conversations
These
about
are
every penalty.
very long conversations. We've
That's
seen this
only
now
one.
for
That
4
flag
weeks.
is only for one reason, right there.
We have offside on the kicking team. Penalty will be enforced 5 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
And my guess is that this is going to be one of those where they only call that in high school and college Division III as well.
That ball out. Either way, Ravens recovered it. Chase Reynolds, though, doing a heck of a job coming downfield here, as he has been a special teams demon as we're back to live action. And the Ravens will keep it on the ground yet again, as they have been for most of the time. Pierce and Laurinaitis, the carrier and the tackler. Hey, fans, choose your 3 favorite Rams home games and create your very own flex plan. And bring your hat. They start for as low as $120. Go to stlouisrams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS. Again, 314-RAMS-TICKS for your very own Rams flex plans. James Laurinaitis and that first-team defense still in there as the clock winds down, almost through with the first quarter. Rams on top, 14-0. Pierce around right end, turns the corner, gets a couple of yards, but there is a Ram down on the field.
It's Michael Brockers. I was watching him all the way. It was a high-low play, and he got cut on his backside leg. Oh, man, I hope he's okay. I watched the entire play. It was outside zone away, and so the backside guard went to cut Michael Brockers, which is his job. but Brockers was still engaged with the center. Let's take a look at it. Right in the middle of your screen, you'll see the guy go down, and boom, right there, Michael Brockers' ankle gets caught up because the other offensive lineman had kind of peeled back and held him up like that.
That's the worst thing that could happen for a lineman, offensive or defensive, and right there, I mean, that's a high low. That's a high low. If you're touching a guy while a guy's engaged down below the waist, I mean, it's a high low. That's a bang bang play, and unfortunately, the ref missed it. And not to mention, who knows if that's a high ankle sprain or torn ligament or what.
Reggie Scott and the Rams medical staff, training staff out there with Michael Brockers. Jeff Fisher also out to talk to his rookie. 14th overall selection, defensive lineman. We could wish only the best. It is good to see him get up, but they are going to help him off. And he's not putting much, if any, pressure on that right leg.
Well, we talked about it in the open, guys. That's the one thing the Rams were hoping to avoid tonight, and a big reason why a lot of teams don't play their starters in the fourth and final preseason game. But there are a bunch of teams that do play their starters through the first quarter, right? So I mean, it's not like this is the third quarter or late in the second. It's still the first quarter play.
Michael Brockers goes to the sideline. 3rd and 4. This should be the final play of the fourth quarter. Or the first quarter, beg your pardon. We won't even get it off as they start the clock, and that is double zeros here. So 14-0. Rams lead after 1. But certainly the concern now with Michael Brockers.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Yes, it is. 2 touchdowns from Sam Bradford. And the Rams lead after 1. Second quarter action coming up from the Edward Jones Show next. 3 quarters left here of preseason football for the Rams. They lead 14-0 over the Ravens to start the second quarter. But the story tonight, just moments ago, the injury to Michael Brockers. It looks, guys, as they cart him off, we assume, don't want to speculate, but a right ankle. You'd think?
Yeah, and it's just not good. I mean, there's one thing you don't want to hurt on the big guy that plays in the interior is anything on the lower extremities. I mean, give him a shoulder, an elbow, but when it's an ankle or a knee, it's tough.
Tyrod Taylor here on 3rd down as we're back to football. Throws over the middle. That is a nice catch, and that's a completion to Deontay Thompson. He gets the first down yardage out to the 37-yard line of the Rams. First team D still in there without Michael Brockers.
Well, Thompson's a guy that the Ravens really like. I was at Ravens training camp one day, and they kept talking about the undrafted rookie free agent out of Syracuse. One last thing on the Brockers point. They put Trevor Laws on IR this week. They thought Trevor Laws was going to be the Rams' 3rd defensive tackle. So they've got some young guys battling for depth, and Darrell Scott's been out as well.
Sure. I think it's fair to say that the area with maybe the least depth on that defense especially is defensive tackle. You like the guys up front, but behind it, there have been some injuries. Time to look now at the first quarter stats, which are brought to you by True Home Value. Your home is where the heart is. The Rams, after a slow start, both offensively and defensively on their first drives, have come out, and Sam Bradford's done his thing, marched him down the field on a 94-yard drive, his first touchdown, a 14-yarder to Austin Pettis, and the Rams lead now 14-0 early on the second quarter, as that one is over the head of Laquan Williams and then out of bounds, incomplete, out of the hand of Taylor.
It's a little thing, but I like that Janoris Jenkins just went for that ball, because that was close to being a lateral. He just went for it. I like that as a rookie. That's a heads-up play.
Yeah, you never know. You never know how the referee might blow it.
Especially these referees.
3rd and 8. 13:46 here remaining second quarter. That's Williams and Tandon Doss to the right of the formation here for the Ravens. As the Rams corners back off. Throw left, complete left, short of the first down. It's Deontay Thompson yet again. Tremaine Johnson, the rookie out of Montana, the other rookie corner there for the tackle.
And you have to like what you see right here. Tyrod Taylor does a great job getting the ball out of his hands. Bang, bang, no run after the catch. You allow the catch in front of the stick. You make the tackle, get off the field.
Why does the receiver run a yard short of the sticks there? I don't get that.
That's just inexperience. That's inexperience.
Chase Reynolds back to return this punt here for the Ravens as Cook is on to boot it away. Almost got there again. Maybe got a piece of it, actually. This one's going to bounce on the 30 as the Rams special teams have come to play. It's Robert Quinn again.
Robert Quinn is everywhere.
Man. They sent punt safe out there, and Robert Quinn does a great job laying out. Almost got it.
Quinn has been a one-man wrecking crew. Rams on top of the Ravens by 2 touchdowns. The question, though, on another defensive lineman, down to Maurice Drummond.
Andrew, the rookie defensive tackle, Michael Brocker, suffered an injured right ankle. That's all we know right now, that it's just the right ankle. Still waiting for more information, but as of now, his return is questionable to the contest. Back to you.
All right, Maurice, thank you. I will be shocked, regardless of the questionable designation, if Michael Brockers comes back in here today. It is the 4th game of the preseason. Bradford back to throw. Dumps it off. That's Richardson. He has the sideline. 20, 25, 30. Daryl Richardson. What a revelation he has been to the 37-yard line. Omar Brown takes him down.
I like the design of the play by Brian Schottenheimer right here. I mean, does a great job at free release in the back. The safety comes down. He's been stepping up in protection. Bam, and they dump the ball off to him, and you just let him basically use his speed. I mean, take a look. They bring the safety. They got too many coming. The hot throw is to the back. You swing him out. There's no one there for him.
Gain of 22. Looks like maybe some movement on the line. No flag. Richardson again runs right side and runs across the 40. Call it a gain of 4. Yet to see Isaiah Pete offensively.
I just like Richardson. He finishes runs, and all of his runs, he ends up going in a positive direction. You rarely see him fall backwards after being hit.
And I like the Rams going to the no huddle here. This is something that they wanted to work on in advance of the Detroit team.
The 42-yard line. Richardson again, this time nowhere to go. You know, the Ravens ran a lot of no huddle through the first 3 weeks. They are not doing that today. Brian Hull there on the tackle, but the Rams figure they can do it.
And I like the formation they're doing. I mean, the fact that they're bringing shifting personnels with the no huddle. I call it a little sugar huddle.
It's a loss of 1. Sam has 3 to the left. That's Gibson alone to the left, and Richardson again to the backfield. Hard count, jump, no flag, no snap. Sam now takes the snap at 9, retreats to throw, caught, that's Amendola. Oh, look at his move, across the 40, spinning, down to the 35-yard line before Brown finally wrestled him down after a gain of 23.
I like the pickup by the offensive line. First of all, they showed pressure. Sam did a great job with his snap count, got him to show the blitz, they pick it up. Ball out of his hands. Amendola strong to the football with his hands and run after the catches, what he's great at.
I'm nitpicking here, but I would have liked to seen Barry Richardson move when Courtney Upshaw jumped. They would have gotten a free 5 yards, but obviously the Rams will take the result of that play instead.
Bradford now on the 35 of the Ravens, hands it to Richardson. Strong run. He gets 8 to the 27 again. It's Daryl Richardson.
Listen, this kid is finishing runs. Watch the acceleration. Not speed to the hole, but speed through the hole. And he's, man, he runs with his eyes. He runs with his eyes.
Nigel Carr, the rookie out of Alabama State, number 42. In there for the tackle as Bradford on 2nd and short is going to throw. Look out, Sam avoids the rush. Now he's going to run. Now throws on the run. Oh, it's dropped. It's dropped by Matthew Mulligan.
For a minute there, I thought that number 8 was number 9. Sam Bradford was moving in the pocket like Austin Davis. And, you know, you need your quarterback sometime when he gets off the spot. And people talk about Sam Bradford. I mean, when he's off the spot, is he accurate? Okay, that ball hit him in between the 8 and the 2. Listen, Matthew Mulligan want that ball back. It hit him in the spot you hate a ball to hit you, right in between the numbers.
Don't think Mulligan's in danger of getting cut here, but that's the kind of catch, or drop rather, you hate in the 4th preseason game. Richardson off the draw around left end. 20, Richardson, first down yardage again for the Rams, run out of bounds by Thompson.
Listen, if this kid keeps running like this, Isaiah Pete gonna find it hard to get on the football field. I'm telling you, this right now, that's just running with your eyes. You press the C gap, you make Imbadejo bite inside, and then you outrun the arm tackle. That's just running with your eyes and trusting your ability.
I'm not starting a controversy here. Steven Jackson is the starter, but you say Richardson takes carries away from Pede. Richardson's going to get on the field regardless of Isaiah Pede. He playing like this. From the 16, Bradford out of the gun. Sam sets up the screen. Richardson gets drilled. Nowhere to go at all as Nigel Carr sniffed it out.
Just a slow developing screen right there. I mean, Sam tried to buy time. The offensive line in the back, the relationship, it really wasn't there. It never really developed probably how they had it develop in practice. And that's why you run them. In order to be a good screen team, you got to run the screens in game situations.
Had one set up last week in the second after Richardson that he almost busted. This time he gets busted down behind the line of scrimmage. He was drilled by Imbadejo.
That should not happen. I mean, the linebacker on a draw like this should not come free. That's the left guard, Quinn Ojanaka. He's working with Scott Wells, the center, up to the second level, but you got to have eyes for the linebacker. You can't let the linebacker run right by you. And Ojanaka's in there right now because of his experience, and a veteran should not make that type of mistake. One reason why I think we'll start to see a lot more of Rock Watkins at left guard.
Rock Watkins was in on that first possession, then headed to the bench. Isaiah Pede's checked in now at tailback as the play clock hits 0.
Number 8 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Back him up.
That's not good.
No,
because that means Sam didn't see it, and it means the coaches didn't see it either.
Yeah, and you're running the sugar huddle, so 2 negative plays and then a penalty that's a drive killer. But let's see if they can get something into the end zone or even get a first down, because there's still room for that.
3rd and 22, 2 negative plays, and then the 5-yard delay of game backs them up. Rams need to get to the 6. Bradford complete. That's not going to be nearly enough. Steve Smith to the 21. Flag, though. Flag in the offensive backfield.
I think we got a roughing the passer here.
Well, that would give them a first down.
Yeah.
David White, your thoughts?
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 94 in the defense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal, first down.
Sergio Kindle's fighting for a job. Harbaugh would not say that he was a lock to make this team, except it wasn't Kindle. He got the number wrong. It was actually 95. There's Kindle.
Wow.
I gotcha. That was really late.
That was insanely late.
And this is
crazy.
This is why it's scary to have your starters playing with backups. This is why it's scary, because
he's trying to make
like,
the team, Marshall.
Yes, things like that happen.
Wow, Sergio Kindle with a personal foul puts the Rams on the 10. Glad to see Bradford get up from that as he hands it to Richardson, who looks for room, finds some room, and then keeps pushing down inside the 3.
Guys, it's not funny.
And then, wait a minute, push it and shove it in the end zone as well.
Hey, listen,
It's getting
I believe it was Ojanaka. He just took Courtney Upshaw and pancaked him into the end zone, and that'll make any defensive lineman upset. I mean, he has him on skates.
Well, and I think that the Rams are fired up because of that late hit on Sam Bradford, and they should be. That was the latest late hit I've seen in a long, long time. Watch number 91.
He got him on skates right now.
Play. Boom. Yeah. I think it's Barry Richardson actually that finished him.
And that's getting physical. That's just look at the line of scrimmage move.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see in the red zone.
2nd and 3 now from the 4. Rams can't get a first down without getting into the end zone. Ball's loose. Fall on it back on the 10.
Yeah, that's a procedure call. The ball never made it to Sam's hand. The ball never made it up.
Which is what we saw last week, but it wasn't called with Orton.
Like that ball never.
Oh my gosh.
That ball never.
I'll tell you exactly what happened there. The tip of the ball, I've done this before. Scott Wells, look, it just came out of his hands. I mean, the tip of it just I don't know if his gloves sweaty or whatever.
An illegal snap.
And Scott Wells has started like 100 games in a row. You know, he's probably snapped it 1,000,000 times.
It's Ground ball, Bradford fell on it, and the result now is the Rams keep going backwards. It's 3rd and 8. Bradford, time, throw, touchdown, his 3rd of the day. Another one, Michael Ho'ohunawani'i. Illinois Mike into the end zone.
Oh, I love the name, but I love the route even better. Listen, Brian Schottenheimer is doing a great job. They're playing man, and you just want to cross everybody up when they're playing man, and Illinois Mike did a great job of pushing his route up deep. You work off the backer. You don't let him run you across the field. You still continue to get your depth, and then you break it across, and Sam Bradford, the ball's a live ball right now. The ball is coming out of his hands with some pop.
And again, he had enough time to wait for a crossing route to totally clear everybody before he threw it. Good job by the O-line up front.
Zuerlein, extra point. Good. He has been perfect, not only with his extra points, but with his field goals as well here in the preseason. 13 plays, 91 yards. Ho-ho into the end zone, 21-0. 21-0. Rams, as they did 2 weeks ago against the Chiefs, look good here at home at the Edward Jones Dome. 3 Sam Bradford touchdown passes, the latest to Michael Ho'ohunawani'i. Rams, stop laughing, 222 yards total offense. The Ravens with a mere 60.
See, he practices it so much that if he gets the chance to use it game time, he's just going to keep throwing it out there. He's Illinois Mike to me and Marshall.
We called him Ho-Ho.
Practice in front of the mirror. 6:59 remaining here in the second quarter. Deontay Thompson back to return this Zuerlein kick if he wants to. Does so, 7 yards deep. Brings it out. Dancing a little bit. Ooh, trying to get upfield. You can hear the pop from here. Deontay Thompson gets to the 19-yard line. And that's where the Ravens will start it. When we're back, 21-0. We are here at the Edward Jones Dome. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ross Tucker. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Rams leading after 3 Sam Bradford touchdowns. Don't know how much longer we will see him after that vicious late hit delivered by Sergio Kindle, but that was the Ravens defense. This is the Ravens offense. Tyrod Taylor in there at quarterback. He started, and he will hand to Bobby Rainey, looking for room, covering that football, and trying to get around right end. Not really much, maybe 4 yards. Talk about Robert Quinn, guys. He had the trifecta before, the sack, the forced fumble, and the fumble recovery. He also got his hand on a punt.
And he's just been active, you know. I like what I've seen from him tonight. The up and under move, use the same up and under move on the outside protector to almost get the block. And he's just very active. That's what you want from a guy.
He has certainly looked good in the preseason this year. Still, though, worried about Michael Brockers, the rookie defensive lineman, left the game late in the first quarter with what is being described by the Rams as a right ankle injury. His return questionable, but let's face it, we will not see him again. There's a pop. Quentin Michael and Cortland Finnegan come calling incompletion.
And there it is again, Ross. I mean, ball's out, all the guys react, and I think that's something that Jeff Fisher just instilled in his defense. But Tyrod Taylor, that's a trap coverage right there. That's a trap coverage. Tyrod Taylor got to see that. Throwing that ball out there, you can get somebody knocked out.
And I like some of the guys they have in the secondary here for the Rams. Finnegan, Michael, Dahl. They got some guys that'll hit you now.
Let's see what this Rams defense does after the incompletion to Bell Savage. 3rd and 5. Let's see if this defense can get off the field. Play clock down to 5. Play clock's at 1. Taylor knocked down to the line. It's Robert Quinn again.
Man's active tonight. I really believe that the comfort zone and the comfort level that you have to be an elite rusher. Most guys are so excited to get to the quarterback, like you ever just get a free pass. Like somebody's just going to ever let you run to the quarterback. Something's fishy. Something's fishy, and he saw it, got his hands up, batted the football down.
Good instincts, and it's harder to get your hands up like that when you're running full speed than people realize.
All right, Chase Reynolds fields it, 22-yard line. No block in the back, no flag. He's thrown down to the 26. That's where the Rams will start things off when we get back. 21-0. Let's see if Sam Bradford's coming out here at the Edward Jones Dome. for Sam Bradford. He has thrown 3 touchdown passes and now sits on the bench, up 21-0 here in the second quarter. In comes Kellen Clemens, who has had his moments here in the preseason, a rating of 91, or 98, I beg your pardon. He's thrown a touchdown, but he's also been sacked 4 times. See what Kellen Clemens does with this offense now that he has Isaiah Peed with him and Givens in motion. So the rookie's out there with Clemens, and he'll hand it off. Peed gets upfield, something we haven't seen a lot of. He pushes the pile across the 31 on first down.
And this is the Isaiah Peed that we saw in the Indianapolis game before the fumbles happened. This is what we need to see from him. We need to see Isaiah Peed hit the hole with some intention of going north and south.
Gets a gain of 5 there. Peed comes in, 25 carries for 50 yards in the preseason and a touchdown. You can do the math, 25 for 50. He's averaging only 2 yards a pop. Actually ran for negative yardage in the win here over Kansas City. But he's in the backfield, and he will carry again on second down. Gets through the line and gets first down yardage. Nice run there. Different Isaiah Peed tonight.
Yeah, this is huge for the St. Louis Rams to have Isaiah Peed getting some good carries like this. Shows some patience here. You always say it, Marshall, slow to the hole, fast through the hole. That's exactly what he did. Good cutback, and he's finishing his runs going forward. You see Wayne Hunter in at right tackle. Wayne Hunter opening some holes. It's amazing how quickly these guys switch jerseys, switch numbers, and start playing for somebody else.
Wayne Hunter in here, acquired earlier this week when the Rams sent Jason Smith to the Jets. Hey, Peed breaks a tackle. He's going to get around the corner. Midfield, Isaiah Peed to the 47 of the Ravens.
You know, you watch a guy, they put Richardson in front of you. You watch a guy go out there and get it done. And it adds fuel to your fire. And we're seeing an Isaiah Peed right now compete. He understands that he's competing for that spot behind Steven Jackson. And listen, earlier in the year, he would have went down right there. Bounce it, get outside and show your speed.
Isaiah Peed gets 14. He has 4 carries for 24 yards. The Rams have run it 17 for 74 yards collectively. Fisher said he was going to come out and pound the football tonight. They have done that, and they have done that successfully. Clemens hit as he throws over the head of Peed, and that ball is going to go out of bounds. He avoids the sack. D'Angelo Tyson was there, and then, I don't know if I want to say recklessly throws it to his left. He had a man there, but that was dangerous.
Well, he knew that there were no defenders out there. I would have liked to see the Marshall get rid of the ball sooner and get it to Peed.
Exactly, and that's the exact same play we saw Bradford hit Richardson on, but he didn't recognize that they brought something on the strong side, and he had his back running free with the backside safety trying to cover him.
Timeout on the field. We might have a challenge. There's a red challenge flag down.
He's going to say that it was a lateral and that the ball should be spotted back here. He might be right. It's very close.
Well, the ball went out of bounds, so there's no change of possession regardless. Rams are going to have the football. The question is where?
The ruling on the field that the pass was forward.
So this is all about field position here. Harbaugh's trying to buy some yardage. Let's take a look at it.
Tough to see from this angle, certainly. Ball's over Peed's head, clearly out of bounds from where we're sitting. We're actually right where our broadcast booth is, on the line of scrimmage. I thought it was right on the line. Here's the view from up top. And again, the line of scrimmage is the 47. He will throw it here from the other 47.
Nah.
No, they won't overturn that.
Not that one.
Not enough to overturn.
No.
Definitely not.
Well,
indisputable visual evidence to overturn it.
The ball went forward beyond Isaiah Peed.
But we've been wrong.
We have been wrong.
Last week we're unanimous about a couple of things, and I guess who knows?
Were we wrong?
Or were
they wrong? That's still to be debated.
We didn't match up with them, let's put it that way.
This was in Dallas a couple of weeks ago when they went to the booth. They went to the replay, rather, and we up here collectively thought that one thing was going to happen. Another thing happened. Now, here's my question on this one. Harbaugh can throw his red flag whenever he wants to. For a team that's not playing its starters and made a big point, we're going to run the football and try to get out of town, 21-0, and he's thrown his red flag here.
I think, though, you still coach the way you coach. Now, maybe at the end of the game you don't go for 2 or whatever, but I think they're already playing their backups. I don't think he doesn't want to throw away the towel on something like this, but it's interesting to use his challenge, Marshall, on one that I don't think he's right on.
I believe that it's close enough that if they would have thrown the flag or called that ball live, Fisher would have thrown his.
But I think we could also agree there's nothing there to overturn what was on the field.
No, but I'm saying it looked close enough, even on film, that Fisher would have thrown his red flag if they would have called it a lateral.
Well, speaking of Jeff Fisher, fans, help welcome him right here to the Dome for the regular season opener, September 16th, with RG3, the Redskins, in town. It's week number 2, and everyone's going to get a Jeff Fisher mustache. Everyone, regardless of age. You saw us 2 weeks ago wearing
on the field stands, second down.
314 Rams Ticks or stlouisrams.com. Ruling on the field stands, and even if it had been overturned, we're only talking about 6 yards.
But still, I think that John Harbaugh just helped out the official. You know, that's a situation that they probably hadn't had all season. And now they get to see, and maybe they'll study that and say, okay, yes, what would have made it a lateral? This would have made it a lateral, and this is why it wasn't a lateral. They're learning on the job.
A teachable moment.
Yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
Like Fisher said about the missed tackles and the blown coverages, this is the opportunity to get it wrong.
And I really like, guys, that the Rams are up 21-0. I think it's easy to say, well, it was the Rams starters against a lot of second stringers for the Ravens, but hey, the Giants last night had their starters out there for 4 series, and they only got 1 first down against the Patriots second string.
That was a battle of field goals. That game ugly here on second down. Isaiah Peed showing some nice shiftiness in the backfield. He's going to push it to the 43-yard line, gain of 5.
Ross, I'll tell you, I see a whole different intent from Isaiah Peed and his running style today. I see sharp cuts. I see a forward lean. I see when there's contact, he's going forward.
How does that happen, though? I mean, don't you run the way you run? Like, what happened the last 2 weeks?
Somebody gave him the job number 2, and now that job has been taken, and they're even, and he knows, listen, I want to play.
And motivation.
Yes.
Certainly takes its toll here. Ravens going to take a timeout. They were charged a timeout on the challenge as well. So we're going to keep it right here with 3:04.
Competition is everything, man.
1 timeout remaining here for the Ravens. Guys, we saw Wayne Hunter on the field earlier. There he is wearing a familiar number 72, Jason Smith. The former 2nd overall pick in the draft back in 2009 was shipped to New York. Hey, listen, it's about a change of scenery here, I think, for both guys. It didn't work for Jason. Wayne Hunter got a lot of bad press in New York. He was evidently to blame for everything that went wrong with the Jets. Hopefully he can find a new home here.
Listen, he is a physically talented guy. Jeff Fisher told us today that he's the guy who wants to come off the bus first. He looks the part. And Rex Ryan at one point said he was the best 6th man in the NFL. He started in the 2010 postseason and played extremely well. That's why they were able to say goodbye to Damian Woody and name him the starter, give him the contract extension, but then he struggled last year and just lost his confidence.
6'5", 315. He's in on that line as Clemens goes deep left sideline. Givens comes back for the ball. Pass interference. Rams will have it. 1st and goal inside the 10. Danny Gorer down there on the coverage.
And I like what Givens did there. The ball was underthrown. I mean, obviously Clemens knows that this guy can run. Overthrow Givens, he'll run underneath it. You got to overthrow Givens, and he underthrows him, but Givens, you react to the ball, you get the PI.
We saw that.
Defense number 36. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
As I was saying, we saw that in Indy as well. Givens drew a deep pass interference flag because the DB never looked back, and he had the speed on an underthrown ball.
Listen, when you throw the deep ball in the league today, I mean, most of the time, the call's going to go to the offense.
You might as well just underthrow it and tell your guy to come back to it and draw the penalty.
Pass interference, illegal contact, catch. That's the 3 things. The only thing bad that can happen is interception.
Rams 3 for 3 in the red zone. Another big Ravens penalty sets up the Rams, keeps the drive alive. Here's the handoff, Isaiah Peed. Maybe a yard. Yeah, let's give him 2 or 3. Down to the 5.
And I like what I see from Pete. I need a little bit more hesitation because that handoff, I mean, it's starting to happen a little quicker than what Kellen Clemens is expecting. Either he needs to get a little deeper or hesitate a little more to time it up to give the puller enough time to get around. He's just a little quick getting to the hole with his speed.
Speaking of Quick, Brian Quick now tight to the line left, and that's Gibbons in motion. So the two rookie wide receivers there as they'll keep it on the ground. Ooh, Pete got drilled. Stood up in the backfield. Terrence Cody was there.
That's a predetermined run right there. He already knew he wanted to cut that back, but they had the numbers on the front side. He just got scared because it was a receiver on the linebacker on the outside. You got to keep that front side. You have to keep that front side. You get through there, you get past Kendall because he got too far upfield. You have numbers up the field on your side. He cut it back too early.
And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Rams perfect in the red zone, trying to make it 4 for 4, threatening again. 21-0, and knocking on the door when we get back. Something to smile about tonight, certainly, for the Rams and the offense. And Sam Bradford, he threw 3 touchdown passes and has since exited the game. Kellen Clemens has the Rams threatening again, up 21-0 here, facing a 3rd and goal. On the 6-yard line, Isaiah Peed is his running back. Ryan Quick is wide to the left. Givens wide to the right here for the Rams. And Kellen Clemens, let's see what they do. They will throw. Quick, back shoulder, picked off. Intercepted in the end zone, and a touchback here. It's Danny Gorer, who actually got called for the pass interference to put him down here, who gets the turnover.
You know, that's just a poor throw. I mean, you have a huge height advantage with Quick. This ball need to be thrown to where Quick and high point it and outside away, and it's just a bad throw by Clemens. Just an all-around bad throw.
Well, that's a big mistake for a veteran down there. That really is. Got to at least get 3 points there.
Brian Quick has the size. That's why the Rams got him. We saw a couple of weeks ago against the Chiefs. He used that side. After Torrey Holt, among others, was in here during the week to say, use it, you're 6'3", you're 220, but there, Clemens couldn't put him in a position to use his side.
I mean, Clemens is just opening the door for Austin Davis in the second quarter in the backup quarterback spot.
Who I assume we'll see later. As Taylor sets up a screen here to Rainey. Bobby Rainey hit down by Janoris Jenkins. Dunbar also there for the tackle.
That was a smart little. That's the kind of stuff veterans do. You saw Jenkins kind of sat on the outside of the offensive lineman and then made him think and then slipped underneath and then he cuts down the legs of the back. I mean, this is the kind of play. I mean, I watched Aeneas Williams do this many a times. You sit on the outside and whoop, you jump underneath at the last time and make the tackle.
William Hayes got there as well, hit Taylor, who's now back in there, and again throws to Rainey. That's a first down, and it's going to get it out to the 37-yard line as the clock winds down towards 1 minute remaining here, 21-0 in the second quarter.
Rainey reminds me and a lot of Ravens personnel of Ray Rice. You know, short, thick legs, and he's been following around Ray Rice like a puppy dog trying to learn from the star.
5'8", 205, he chips. They don't go that way. Instead, they throw left, and that is Doss, Tandon Doss with the catch, and Harbaugh says get down the field. We only got one timeout.
Right now, I'm a little worried about our D-line. The pass rush are not as active, not even getting their hands up. I mean, quick throws, you got to get your hands up if you're not going to get there, and they're not as active right now.
They are gassed right now, and with the clock stopped here, it'd be a good time to rotate some other guys in, but the reality is they're not putting the ones back in there.
No.
And they don't have that many other guys to play. They got Cudjoe out there. They've got the new pickup as well, Cordine out there as well.
I mean, let's face it, you have Dahl out there, you got Tremaine Johnson out there, you got Dunbar out there, you got a lot of guys who will see and do see action with the ones here. As the clock is stopped, as Doss got out of bounds, there's a catch on the sideline by number 80 line, Matt Balsavage, and that clock is winding.
Good job by Pointer to take that outside angle and chop him down in bounds.
One timeout left, they won't use it. Taylor, incomplete. That'll stop the clock. It's Balsavage again, and he goes straight to the turf. He really got popped there.
Yes, he did. I mean, that was a good hit. He got up in it, and his leg hit the ground really hard.
Ravens not playing either of what we consider their first string tight ends, whether it's Pitta or Dixon, and now they're going to bring out the field goal unit. This is a long one. Let's call this one 57. And your kicker here is Justin Tucker. He's 5 for 5 in the preseason. He's hit a 50-yarder. He's hit a 53-yarder. This will be from near 57, and this one is no good. Had the distance, but it's wide to the left with 9 seconds remaining.
I mean, I would like to see us throw the ball and get Jeezy out there and see if he can make one.
Jeezy being Greg Zuerlein, who also is perfect in the preseason, and they say, we've seen it in practice, we saw it at the scrimmage a couple of weeks ago, he has a range of 60 and beyond. Let's take a look at how we got to this point now. The scoring summary, first half scoring summary brought to you by Vincent Mortgage Group, the name you know and trust, and it's all about Sam Bradford. Early on, here's a touchdown to Austin Pettis. He dove for the pylon for the 14-yard score. Amendola also had a 7-yard touchdown, and then to Hohomanawinui as well, as the Rams will not bring Greg Zuerlein or anyone else out for that matter. Kellen Clemens will take a knee, and that is the end of the half with the Rams shutting out the Ravens 21-0. Steven Jackson likely done for the day, as Sam Bradford is done for the day as well. We saw the second string and third string tailbacks, Richardson and Pede, at least tonight, who are out there, and both of them look pretty good. Time to head down to the field in a couple of seconds. Maurice Drummond is going to have FaceTime, brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Maurice with the coach.
All right, Andrew, thanks a lot here with the Rams head coach, Jeff Fisher. Coach, you wanted your ones to get a lot of time tonight. Your thoughts on 3 touchdowns for the offense?
Well, of course, we made some plays, and keep in mind, we're playing their twos. But when that happens, you expect to be productive and make your plays. But Sam made some good throws. He had some time, obviously, and so I'm pleased overall. We got to go and check out, see how Brock is right now. That's the one thing you don't want to have happen. You don't want to lose a player.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Brock. What was your vantage point? Did you get a good look at that?
No, he's got an ankle. It's not too serious, but sometimes those ankles linger on. But all in all, we also started substituting a little sooner than I thought, just because of the production, and now we're going to look at a lot of players.
Okay, see you in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the head coach. Send it back to you, Andrew.
All right, guys, thank you. Again, it's early. He says you hope it's not too bad with Michael Brockers, but as we've said, those things linger. Robert Quinn had a great first half. Sam Bradford looked good as well. The Rams look good overall, and they lead 21-0 at the break at the Edward Jones Dome. Edward Jones making sense of investing. Rams look good, 21-0. Even that kid seems impressed. After 3 quarters, or heading into the third quarter, I beg your pardon, over the Baltimore Ravens. And Marshall, you keep pointing out, and here's a touchdown to Pettis. That ball's coming out quickly.
It is, and that was a great throw there to Pettis. Beat the linebacker right here. Robert Quinn with the sack strip, ball on the ground, fumble recovery, and right here, listen, Sam Bradford showing that not only can I throw the ball deep, I can throw it in tight windows as well. And Amendola dives into the end zone. And now Illinois Mike, another crossing route, beats the linebacker, Brendan Ambadejo, for a touchdown.
I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing near you. That's Hohomanawinui on Ambadejo.
Yes. I wasn't going to say ho-ho is about as far as I'll go with that one.
Jeff Fisher said, not everything, again, is a laughing matter this evening, that he hopes that the Michael Brockers injury isn't that serious, but it was a right ankle injury, and that will become, Ross, the headline tomorrow morning, regardless of the score tonight.
Without question, and I think you can make the argument that that was the worst position for the Rams to suffer an injury. When you look at their depth, Darrell Scott's been out, Trevor Law is on IR. It's probably the position where they have the least amount of depth, so that makes it especially unfortunate.
You guys didn't see it here as Greg Zuerlein lines up to start the third quarter. The teams lined up on the wrong sides of the field. They just had to switch. The Rams were lined up to kick off right to left, and the Ravens to our left to receive. They just switched it up.
It's preseason.
Of course it is, for everybody. Deontay Thompson back there to return. And we are underway here, third quarter. Marshall Falk, Ross Tucker, I'm Andrew Siciliano, and this is Deontay Thompson. 5-10. Through traffic, 15-20. Rams coverage teams have certainly looked good, not only today, but throughout most of the preseason. Are you ready for fantasy football? You can go legit with your fantasy team this season only on NFL.com. Free live scoring, also instant video highlights within seconds whenever the play happens. Getting started is easy. NFL.com/fantasy. NFL.com/fantasy. We have a new quarterback former Indianapolis Colt. Curtis Painter is now your quarterback. Fourth year, 27 years old out of Purdue. He's going to work out of the shotgun. 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. He's actually looked somewhat good in the preseason, wearing Trent Dilford's old number, and dumps it down to Rainey. Rainey, first down yardage, and he's run out of bounds or near the sideline. He's finally brought down by McLeod there at the 38, called the 39-yard line.
This is really well blocked by the Baltimore Ravens. Watch the left guard and the center both get in front, and they both get blocks. And that's why Rainey's able to get right in the middle of the two of them.
I want to see the end and the tackle understand, listen, you don't get free sacks in this league. If they're allowing you to run towards the quarterback, you have to sniff that out and turn around and start running.
Rookie Rodney McLeod, the safety, number 38, undrafted free agent out of Virginia. He made the tackle, fighting for a job here, but he has impressed. And he very well could make this team. Very well could make this team. As now we got pushing and shoving, and now we have a late hit, and now we have a flag as Rainey gets thrown down by Josh Hull.
I think that they might call it on Vernon Golston. It's weird because Golston made a nice play and was holding the running back up. And at the end, it's like, okay, I'll throw him down.
Personal foul, defense number 56. Penalties 15 yards.
It's a nice play by Golston at the point, and he's holding him. He doesn't throw down. Then watch the end.
They actually get a Hull there on the penalty. He threw him down. Hey, listen.
I mean,
Go
it's
ahead.
preseason. You know, it's preseason. Guys happy to be in the game.
Look at Golston's guns, man. Holy cow.
He is all airport.
He's one of those guys that you look at and you're just like, how did he not become a stud player?
Great camera work, zooming in on the triceps, by the way. Across midfield to the 46 now. Curtis Painter works out of the shotgun, tries to set up a screen, incomplete as he gets thrown down to the backfield. William Hayes is there, and Kudjoe.
Well, it's pretty simple. You know, you don't go that high in the first round by not looking the part.
Right, no, you're right. You're right. They don't draft guys that don't look good in the top 10.
And that's what I was saying. I mean, you know, Kudjoe, he actually had a free lane and thought he could get there, but you have to sniff that out. When that guard all of a sudden just lets you go and the quarterback's still back there with the ball, you better start chasing the guard. Because if you don't get there, it's going to be a big play.
You got Logan Payne, Dorian Graham in at wide receiver, deep into the bench here on 2nd and 10, and Hayes throws him down, ball's out, Rainey recovers.
Oh boy, what a heads-up play by Curtis Painter right there. And I mean, I'd be willing to say that Hayes had it in the grasp almost, but he got the ball out there, did a little shovel pass motion to the back. This is just a heads-up play because, listen, that's a sack. That is a sack. That is a sack. He had control of the quarterback. He was in the grasp, but Painter did a good job because, hey, the refs, that's a call, that's a judgment call.
It's a better move there by a quarterback here. Curtis Painter on 3rd down, all kinds of time, throws over the middle. It's picked off Craig Dahl, and they lost the football, loose on the turf. Rams fighting for it. Dahl had the pick, and now the Ravens get it back. Dorian Graham fell on it.
First down Ravens, just how they drew it up.
Man, listen, if you Craig Dahl, you're asking, my God, what do I have to do to catch a break after last week? The poor tackling, missed the signal from Finnegan, and now you catch the interception and you fumble it.
Graham recovered it after Graham took it away from Dahl. Here you go. Now you get your pick back. This one's Janoris Jenkins. He's going to hold on. 40, 50. He's got a convoy. 30. Janoris Jenkins to the house. 76 yards.
And that is why Craig Dahl fumbled on the play before. He knew exactly what was going to happen on the next play. Check
Tip
it out.
drill. This is the tip drill. The famous tip drill. Ball is tipped. Ball's in the air. Interception. Now that's convoy. They call it quick change. You start blocking for your mate and lead him into the end zone. Look at Tremaine Johnson. They're doing a great job. You practice this all the time, and now you get to see it. The only people upset right now are the defensive linemen because they ain't trying to run that far.
Hey, and he's capable of making those kind of plays. He made those plays at Florida. He made them at North Alabama. That's what he needs to do for the Rams this year. Big plays from the second rounder.
What do you think of the flip?
I like the flip, but you know what? I'm just happy that it happened for him because last week he had a rough week.
Sure.
And you need to build that confidence up in the young corner and things like that. Johnny on the spot, tip drill, you're in the right place at the right time, touchdown.
And another rookie, Greg Zuerlein with the extra point. He has been perfect in the preseason. Rams GM Les Snead right around the corner, 28-0. Rams winning. And winning big tonight in the preseason finale over the Baltimore Ravens here at the Edward Jones Dome. It's now 28-0 after a 76-yard interception return for a touchdown by the rookie, Janoris Jenkins. Here's another rookie, and we've mentioned the rookies will play such a big part this year with this team and have already in the preseason. Greg Zuerlein to kick off to Bobby Rainey. He's done a lot of the work here in the second and third quarter for this Baltimore team at tailback, and Bobby Rainey is not going to get far, maybe the 14-yard line. Greg Salas among those down there for the tackle. Joining us now in the booth, the GM of the Rams. Happy to have Les Snead with us. First of all, Michael Brockers, what can you tell us?
Right now, he does have a right ankle injury. We're monitoring the situation. Hopefully he'll get back sooner than later.
You held your breath, didn't you?
Always hold your breath this game, or any game. You don't want to lose a player to an injury, but it happens. Marshall, and you'll tell us Ross, right? So you got to adjust and move on.
Curtis Painter in a tailback, or rather a quarterback, I beg your pardon, from the 13-yard line. Rainey is the tailback, and he's going to carry about 2 yards.
Les, how have you liked your first camp in preseason as a GM? Is it any different than it was in Atlanta when you were the pro personnel director or anything?
Yeah, it's a lot different. But I told a couple people the other day it's more fun than I thought it would be. So
in what way?
More stress as well?
I don't have gray hair yet, but I can feel it coming, Marshall. I can feel it coming.
I'm sure if and when it does happen, it'll show up on Twitter.
Yes, I think so. Maybe that account would not like the gray hair.
We have an injury,
but it's coming, Marshall.
We'll try to figure that one out. It's a Raven player who is down. We mentioned the injury to Michael Brockers earlier. Go ahead, Marshall.
Unless I'm talking about, after a very active draft, and you're starting to see these players in the preseason play. First time we had you up here, they were young, green on the road for the first time in Indianapolis. And now we're seeing these guys, they're showing up. And they're showing up in a big way. And this team, if they're going to be good, these draft picks, they're going to have to play early and learn quick.
Definitely, and I think, Marshall, maybe the first game they were crawling. Tonight they're walking. We got to get them running, as soon as possible, or walking. They're young players. We're raising babies, but as you know, in the NFL, they got to be raised rapidly.
This is Anthony Allen, first down yardage to the 30. Cut down day. It's coming up tomorrow. How difficult are these decisions going to be?
I think with our team, it will not be very difficult at this point in time, but there's always about 2 or 3 players, or I'd say about 5 players battling for 3 spots.
I have to ask you this because I have fallen in love with the guy Austin Davis. Is there any chance that he's given Kellen Clemens, any look or any competition for that number 2 spot?
I think definitely. I think he's proven it on the field. Internally we've talked about keeping 3 quarterbacks, and I think Austin made a run for that. I think anytime you get down to whether you're going to cut a guy, it's, hey, if we lose him and we can't put him on practice squad, somebody claims him, are we going to be devastated? And I think that's the litmus test that you take with these types.
Was there a surprise? I understand. He wasn't the drafted guy, but to come in and play and to not have the situation be as big.
Well, Marshall, I went to see, when I was scouting this fall, I was in Atlanta, and we were looking for a backup quarterback. We were actively looking for somebody for Matt Ryan. So, went out and searched some players that we thought would fall to us in the mid-rounds to late rounds to be a backup. So I saw this kid play live, and just what you've seen him do in the preseason, you saw him do that at Southern Miss. And he's just a winner, and he makes plays.
It's impressive.
Here's Curtis Painter. Sorry, beg your pardon there, Marshall. On 3rd and inches, falling forward for the first down to the 41.
And Les, I know your background a lot as a pro personnel director. Do you expect to be fairly active on the waiver wire? Are you guys the second? You have the second claim order behind Indy?
We're definitely, we're the second behind Indy. So, we've got guys right now back at the facility in Earth City, definitely preparing for that. We'll have us basically just like a draft board. We've got guys up right now that we project to get cut, and as they get cut tomorrow, we'll.
Where's your most difficult decisions?
Difficult decisions, really. I think, Andrew, with this team, it maybe not necessarily individual players. It's okay. We want to keep our best 53 guys. So do we keep, let's say, more safeties than normal and go short somewhere else so we can keep the best 53 players on this Rams team this year?
Do you then turn to your special teams coach and say, okay, what position makes the special teams better?
Oh, certainly. He'll play a big part in it, for sure. And
I think people underestimate that. Like, those guys that you keep, they make up your special teams.
So, go ahead, Les, I'm sorry.
Well, yes, Marshall, it's a crucial part of the game. And so far this preseason, we've had a lot of young players playing special teams, and we've covered kicks very well.
And we saw a couple of the young safeties there on the screen, both Daniels and McLeod, both undrafted players. We talked so much about those rookies that you did draft. You got a lot of undrafted guys in here. You mentioned Austin Davis, certainly, but those guys have shown signs. Also on special teams, Daniels last week in Dallas.
Yeah, definitely both of those two guys throughout this preseason have been some of our top special teams players. The Virginia safety and, the Duke safety. Two smart kids. Right? We got a Princeton guy up here, now we got Duke and Virginia. We're outnumbered, Marshall.
A lot of times that's rare for rookies to do well on special teams because a lot of times they didn't do it in college, really.
Here's Thompson, first down catch from Painter into Rams territory at the 40.
That's an excellent point. It's total projection on whether they're going to, be able to cover kicks or have the mentality. A lot of times you can see physical traits. Are they tough? Do they like physicality? Or do they love football? And usually if they have those three things, it'll translate to kicks.
Well, when you draft guys like that went to schools like that, you give a different definition to drafting smart.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
normally that's the smart player to take, but it really is the smart player to take.
He's smart in more ways than one. Yeah, exactly. And maybe those guys are here for the home opener. Hey, the Rams look to go to 2-0 here in the preseason at the Edward Jones Dome. Coming up on the 16th for week number 2, we have GM Les Snead here. It's going to be Jeff Fisher Mustache Day. Are you going to wear one?
I don't think so, Andrew. but I do want to take the time to thank you for coming off the campaign trail to help us do this.
Is that a Paul Ryan joke?
Maybe.
It might be.
What would happen if you combined Les Snead hair?
Take the glasses
what
off.
would happen if you combined Les Snead hair with Jeff Fisher mustache?
Hold on, wait. More so, this man and Brian, if you see them side by side, it's unbelievable.
Well, honestly, the ears are hidden by the headset here, so I don't know if you could see it that well. But there's a little Paul Ryan there. I am not in Tampa. We are in St. Louis.
Yeah, I can't believe
you're using P90X as well.
I have not done P90X. I should put the glasses back on. Painter with the throw over the middle. You catch it? I need the glasses. I think Allen caught it, right? Yes, he did.
Les, do you have any positions where there might be other teams that have interest in acquiring some of your players via trade?
We've had there's been a couple of teams ask us about wide receiver because they're trying to project whether we keep 6 or 7. Here's the asterisk with that is Austin Pettis being suspended the first 2 games almost gives you a bonus spot on your 53.
So it's kind of a 6+1.
6+1.
6+1
gives you time to make that decision.
Wide receiver, exactly. Here's Allen looking for room. Kudjoe there brings him down on the 13-yard line. Now, there is a depth issue. I know we've talked about that, certainly, in the middle of the defensive line. And now with the Brockers injury again, you hope for the best. Might that be an area now you may have to target?
I think, yes. I'll be frank and know this. I think Brockers it's not a serious injury. It's just a matter of how long it takes him to get back. And that won't be determined probably until tomorrow. But I've already made a couple of texts, trying to fill maybe some depth there. Because our Clemson kid, he has the PCL injury, so he's going to miss a few weeks as well.
Third down, this ball's over the middle. What a big hit there by Murphy. Murphy just came up and drilled Laquan Williams.
The Clemson kid being Darryl Scott.
Yes.
Let's talk about a position that backing up Steve, and we know his history. And Steve he's gonna be a volume guy. He's a battering ram, and you never know what happens. The two young guys, I see a competition there for that 2 spot. I mean, Richardson is telling Pete, listen, you're not just going to get it because you were drafted higher.
I think that, Marshall, I love that where you have 2 guys in the same class, and it's not like they're competing for a job, but it's more competing for playing time. So you got a natural, hey, we're the same age. You're a 2nd rounder, I'm a 7th, but let's go battle and see who gets the ball more.
The tough question, and I just want to know, do you play the higher draft pick or the guy who gives you the better chance?
You know, my philosophy, Marshall, is, hey, play the best player. You're trying to win on Sunday. Hey, whether they're CFAs or drafted 2nd, they were all acquired to help us win games. And
former Ram Billy Badgema, a touchdown there. So the Ravens get on the board. GM Les Snead, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck not only tomorrow with this cut down, but moving forward this year as well.
Thank you very much.
28-7. Rams on top of the Ravens. 6:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter here at the. Hey, Rams fans, come cheer on your Rams when they host the Seahawks, divisional rivals, September 30th at the Edward Jones Dome. The first 10,000 kids, 14 and under, will receive a James Laurinaitis bobblehead. For tickets, stlouisrams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS, 314-RAMS-TICKS, or stlouisrams.com. Ravens get on the board. A former friend, Billy Badgema, with the touchdown there from Curtis Painter, 28-7. Chris Givens back to return. Flag, though, on the kickoff. Givens takes it about 9 yards deep and tries to bring it out. 10-15. He may have something. 25-30. Hemmed in and pushed out of bounds by the kicker around the 40. But again, there's a flag. Offsides again, maybe?
That's the only, anytime it's thrown down here, that's the call.
Flags down to the 34. David White.
Offside on the kicking team. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. Timeout.
5 yards added to the end of the run when we get back. Chris Givens, nice return. Isaiah Peed had a couple of them last week as well. 28-7. 28-7. Rams on top of the Ravens here. 6:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Darrell Richardson is our rookie to watch tonight. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Host your fantasy football draft day party at Buffalo Wild Wings. 29 for $117, a 4-yard average. He has a couple of catches as well today. Rams leading rusher. Doesn't look like a 7th-round draft pick, does he?
Nah, I'm telling you, he's pressing the early draft pick, making the push to have that backup position behind Steven Jackson. He is.
And again, Darrell Richardson not only was a 7th-round draft pick, he was 1 pick away from irrelevance, from Mr. Irrelevant. That went to Chandler Harnish, the quarterback that we saw earlier, week 1, drafted by the Colts. Kellen Clemens is still in there, and he will run, and he'll get thrown down at around the 48-yard line. Number 95, Brian Hall, who was also in earlier on that hard hit on Sam Bradford that Sergio Kindle got flagged for. And he's the one who ripped him down.
I like the quickness right here by Kellen Clemens. Understand, you pump right, you look left, you don't have it, you run. He's been holding the football too long, hence to the 4 sacks that we saw in earlier preseason games.
Game of 7, dangerous, ripping the quarterback's jersey down, got him on the side there by his shoulder pads, and Clemens bounces up 48-yard line. So again, a gain of 7, and it brings up 2nd and 3. That's Richardson, who we profiled earlier. He's in there, tailback. Givens, who returned the kick, another rookie wide to the right. Richardson finds the hole, pushes through it, and gets a 1st down.
Every time this kid gets the football, watch the surge of the offensive line, and he does a great job of running with his eyes. He finds the hole, he makes a decision, and there's no hesitation in what he wants to accomplish, and that's gain positive yards. For a little guy under 200 pounds pushing a pile like that, I mean, that's exceptional.
Ben Guduli fighting for a job at either fullback or H-back or tight end, call it what you may. Guduli in there leading the way, and he leads the way again. And Richardson, again, you just hear Marshall up here, the contact every time.
He took on 2 guys just now.
Yeah, and you know, Marshall, we were talking with Les Snead about Andrew looking like Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, right there.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's good. That is good.
Is it the ears?
It's everything.
You know, if he gets into that
hair.
office, Andrew, you can make some extra money on the side imitating him at parties and stuff.
Right.
Revenue.
Yeah.
You want more revenue? Maybe that's how we'll do it.
Your commercials will go up.
Maybe it could. Richardson here. Tries to make something happen.
Listen, that right there is called hitting yards.
Yes.
That's called hitting yards.
Yep.
Got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. It'd be 3rd and 10 right now. But you break a tackle, you break another tackle, you dive forward, gain a half a yard, and now what, 3rd and 5? Those are the hitting yards.
And that's one of those stats, Marshall, where someone will say, oh, he had a catch for no yards. That was a great play.
Sometimes numbers do lie. Sometimes they are deceiving. Mike McNeil lined up wide to the right here for the Rams on 3rd down. Clemens goes through 3 reads and then fires high over the head of Gibbons.
Clemens missed it. He missed it. It's a quick throw. You come back. You take the 1 step. You deliver the slant. I mean, he missed it. Mike McNeil he missed it. The backer's playing. He's flat-footing it right there. You got to deliver that football. You have to deliver that football.
Well, guys, how about this? Here comes Greg Zuerlein. This is going to be a 60-yard field goal try. Let's call it 61 for Greg Zuerlein. You know what? Let's call it 62. Let's see if we can call it good. Zuerlein from 62 yards. It is short. Wah, wah, wah. Jackson knocks it down, back of the end zone. First kick of any kind that he has missed this preseason. 28-7 in the 3rd. Line has range, we've been told, from 64. Saw it about 3 weeks ago at the Edward Jones Dome in a scrimmage. Here he just missed from 62.
Listen, I guarantee you, he quick kicked that. If he would have known that they were not going to rush and took his time, I mean, that ball missed by maybe a yard, maybe 2. What was that, 62?
It was 62. If only he knew.
Jeezy's still my fantasy kicker.
GZ, Greg Zuerlein, his nickname Young Jeezy at Rams Park. Marshall loves the nickname. Here's a dump down to Rainey, little screen, has some yardage, Rams territory, out of bounds on the 40-yard line. Hull and Murphy, Hagan, all of them on the sideline. Collision down there on the sideline
Dr.
as
Paletta
well.
just got leveled. Doctor, you got to keep your head on the swivel down there.
Young Jeezy, he's got to make that 62. I mean, that's.
All right, you calling him out for missing a 62-yard preseason field goal?
You got to make that, Jeezy. Come on.
Greg the Leg, I've also seen in the Post-Dispatch.
That's in his wheelhouse.
Flags out, Rainey again. Oh, we got a punch. Was that a punch? Was that pushing and shoving there between Bradley Fletcher and Dorian Graham? Did you see an extended arm?
I think I saw an extended arm.
But the flag was down before that.
Oh, it's okay. Listen, the commissioner has eyes everywhere.
Let's wait on this call. David White, again, is our referee this evening.
Offside, 66 of the defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Scott Smith, the rookie out of Texas Tech. 2:58 remaining here in the 3rd, 28-7. Jeff Fisher giving the officiating crew an earful. 35-yard line, Deontay Thompson on the far side. Fisher's pointing at him. He lines up the wide receiver. As the handoff again goes to Rainey. Ravens content running the football and running the clock out despite being down here 21 in the 3rd quarter, as it is the 4th preseason game. You know, you see the rookie safeties in there, both Daniels and McLeod. We talked so much about the rookies who were drafted, and when Les Snead was up here, we talked about these guys as well, and he said it's a smart pick. Marshall, you said that as well. They're both ACC guys, Duke and Virginia. They're both smart players, and these guys both have a very legitimate chance of not only making this team, especially McLeod, but of contributing as well. Ram, a big part. Logan Payne goes in motion. Play clock down towards 5. Curtis Painter is the quarterback. Pitch left. Nowhere to go.
I just like the suddenness to the ball by this group. I mean, caught up in. But, I mean, he sifted out and went out there and helped set the edge, turn that back inside.
And right into Josh Hull, sorry.
Yeah, and watching McLeod this preseason, I mean, it blows my mind away that a guy like that wasn't drafted. I mean, he's made plays, multiple plays in every single game.
3rd and 6. Ball on the ground. Painter picks it up, fires to the boundary, incomplete. Wanted Deontay Thompson-Murphy out there with the coverage.
I'm going to say it's the 5'10", 183 pounds at a safety position. That's cornerback size, and you're playing safety, and sometimes they don't know if you can bring enough pop or if you can hold up in the run game.
This is a 49-yard kick. 49 yards on the sick. Beg your pardon, Bradley Fletcher there. 32, not 23. Got turned around, and here is Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Distance and accuracy for Justin Tucker. And it's 28-10 with 1:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Edward Jones Dome with the Rams up big. A little bit to cheer about tonight. 28-10. Rams on top of the Ravens. 1:13 remaining here in the 3rd quarter at the Edward Jones Dome. Justin Tucker just nailed a field goal for the Ravens to get them into double digits. Rams still lead by 18. As the goal is to not only get out of here with a victory, but get out of here healthy after losing Michael Brockers. You hate to say that, but he was carted off late in the 1st quarter. GM Les Snead was with us earlier. Said it's a right ankle injury. Doesn't think initially it's very serious. However, the question is, how long is he going to be out?
Yeah, I thought it was very telling that he said he's already been texting some people around the league, looking for their defensive tackles.
I think that's because of their depth. What we were talking about going into the game before Brockers even went down. Once Trevor Laws was put on IR, I mean, they have depth issues.
Chase Reynolds lets it go through the back of the end zone for a touchback here. 28-10. Again, Rams with the lead. And let's see who comes out at quarterback. It is still going to be Kellen Clemens, and as of yet, no Austin Davis. All right, Brian Quick's coming out here. Here is your tweet of the week from Twitter, or the Twitter, as my dad calls it, Workaholic BQ. Tweet of the week. It's crazy to see myself on a video game I grew up on without having to create myself. LOL. Hashtag Madden 13. You know, Marshall's in the Madden 13 commercials. Ross, have you seen those?
I have.
They're
loser.
hysterical. Loser? We're not calling. Well, you get it. Isaiah Pede's in there. Marshall picks up a cell phone as Pede gets hit hard and ridden down the line of scrimmage in the commercial. Marshall picks up a cell phone and tells someone on the other end of the line that they're a loser.
Are you in it? Do you play Madden?
I do play Madden.
Are you always
and
yourself?
I'm good. I've never played as myself.
What?
Really?
Never.
Have you played as Ross?
I don't think you could be a guard or center or a tackle, can you? Can you be an offensive lineman?
I'm going to try to move you to the backfield.
Let me be your lead fullback.
I'm going to see how you handle being moved to the backfield.
Little rollout. Givens with the catch. The rookie turns it upfield. 25-30. First down. Lowers his shoulder. Gets out of bounds. First down yardage here for the Rams.
That was a nice play right there by Kellen Clemens. Coming off the boot, he had a little bit of pressure, Marshall, and he got the ball out of his hands quickly. Watch. Snaps his head around, gets it out there, and lets Givens do something with it. Givens gets north and south, and I love that Givens kind of finished that a little bit.
That's a hard throw. When you have a guy that wide open, not to mention going away from you after you just came off a boot, you have to whip your body around. And Clemens did a good job delivering the ball, hitting him in stride so he can run with the ball after the catch.
And now Givens lines up wide to the right on first down. Clemens looks that way instead, throws it to Dooley. I beg your pardon, easy for me to say. He cannot catch it on his shoulder there. Chavis Williams, the linebacker on the coverage.
You know, they always say, anytime I got hit in the backfield or the quarterback, the guy helping the quarterback up, it was his guy.
Yep, and this time it was T-Bob Hebert.
Usually the guy helping the quarterback up It was his guy.
It's because that's why I never helped him. I didn't want people to see that.
T-Bob Hebert now in at center for the Rams as we wind down maybe the final play of the third quarter. 12 seconds remaining. They run into the final play of the third quarter, and they do. Isaiah Peed to the outside. 40. Peed, 45. Midfield lowers his shoulder and delivers a blow to Kyle Quarles.
Message sent.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you know right now, your second round pick. They put the guy next to Mr. Irrelevant in, and these are the kind of plays you better make if you want to compete with the guy that's showing you. That's a great run. And a nice little chicken wing to finish it off. Defenders always like to come up around that sideline and throw a blow.
That's 28 yards with the chicken wing at the end. And we are through 3. Changing sides at the field. Not a long walk, though. 28-10. Rams on top of the Ravens. 15 minutes left in the preseason. Edward Jones making sense of investing. 28-10. 1 quarter remaining here in the preseason before the Rams get ready for the Lions next week on the road. Isaiah Peed has looked like a different back tonight, and here he delivers the blow to Kyle Quarles.
And look at the guys on the sideline, Andrew. They love it. He sent a message because one of the questions I think has been his physicality a little bit. I think he sent a message right there to the sideline, to his teammates.
And the message his teammates sent to him as Peed runs again, gets body slammed after 2 yards. The message his teammates sent to him was, hey, be careful spiking the football in the guy's face. That could be 15 if these are the real refs. And he's still talking.
No doubt, but listen, this guy, I mean, the turnovers in Indy, and all of a sudden Richardson starts gaining ground, and then Richardson inserted into this game before him. There's some pride involved in this. You know, they're fighting for that little playing time that you might get when Steven Jackson needs a break.
Competition bringing out the best in both of the Rams rookie running backs, both the 7th round pick who we saw earlier and the 2nd round pick here. Kellen Clemens takes a secondary drop and throws it behind Nick Johnson on the 20-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline now. FaceTime brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones making sense of investing. Maurice with Cortland Finnegan.
All right, Andrew, thanks a lot here with the dean of the Rams corners, Cortland Finnegan. And I tell you what, the guy you've been keeping your eye on, Janoris Jenkins, he takes it to the house tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. You know, we're all putting in the work week in and week out to try to get to this place. And I just see him take that back, man. I was truly excited for him. I know he was, and you know, there's big things on the horizon.
I know you guys were disappointed with the tackling last week. Tell me about how things got cleaned up tonight. Do you feel like you guys accomplishing things?
Absolutely. I always feel like, you know, when we come out here and we put it on film and we get, you know, game time reps, then it helps us as a defense and as a secondary. We're new to each other. We're new to this defense. So anytime we come out here and help one another and definitely make plays, it's always beneficial.
Final question for you, as a veteran that's been around this league, how much do you start chomping at the bit? You know, 3rd, 4th preseason games, to just finally get this thing to the regular season?
You know what? That's one of the things we want. You know, as a new defense, so we wanted this preseason just to grow together, and we had our ups and downs. So we want to try to solidify here in this 4th preseason game and move on to the regular season.
All right, Court, thanks a lot for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, send it back to you, Andrew.
For a Greg Zuerlein 59-yard field goal, that is good. He missed from 62. He bounces it in from 59. 31-10. Young Jeezy extends the Rams lead to 21. 31-10, Greg Zuerlein with a 59-yard field goal for the Rams. And unlike the 62-yard field goal, he took his time with still no pressure and drilled it.
You could see the difference. I mean, he didn't speed it up, because you're kicking the ball 50 plus yards, 60 yards. You can't get it elevated quick enough because you don't want to get that much height. You have to drive it. So that time he knew they weren't going to rush. He took his time, nailed it.
So Zuerlein is now connected from 52, 55, 52, and then that one, 59 in the preseason. 4 50-plus yard field goals. Deontay Thompson has room. Oh, but he's dragged down. That is a potentially touchdown-saving tackle by Quentin Pointer.
That was a huge hole right there. It's a good thing Porter, the safety, dropped off at the end and made the play. I mean, nobody even got within a couple yards of him. But Porter folded back and was able to trip him up with his right arm.
See, I'm glad Porter got to him because I don't need my fantasy kicker getting hurt. The next line of defense was Jeezy, and I don't need to know if he can tackle right now.
We drafted our fantasy teams last week. Marshall took Greg Zuerlein. And you know what? I don't think anybody can blame him. Curtis Painter still in there. That's to the outside. That's to Thompson. Almost brought it in, but he didn't. Ball hit the ground. It's Kendrick Burney on the coverage. Here are your stats through 3 quarters, and they are brought to you by Ford. Ford Stats, brought to you by your quality Ford dealers. Not much through the air in the 3rd quarter. Bradford did most of the damage in the first half, then took to the bench late in the 2nd quarter. It's been Kellen Clemens who we didn't comment on because Maurice was down at the sideline talking to Cortland Finnegan, but he could not connect on a 3rd and 1 to an open Isaiah Pete in the flat that would have kept the drive alive. But this is 2nd down for Painter. He connects over the middle to Logan Payne, short of the 1st down, about 3rd and 2. Coming up, Aaron Brown, the rookie backer on the tackle.
You know, guys, it's interesting to me. Here you see the Ravens. 1st down, it's a Painter throw. 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, it's a Painter throw. As you'll see him step into it and deliver the strike to Logan Payne. But you know, usually the 4th preseason game, especially the 4th quarter, it's all handoffs to try to get the game over with and get out of here without anybody else getting hurt. Remember, even if some of these guys aren't going to make the team, if they were to get hurt now, they'd go on injured reserve and the team would still have to pay them. So a lot of times they don't want to do that because that would negatively affect the salary cap.
Painter being chased, throws, complete. That's Billy Badgema, the former Ram, who earlier had a touchdown.
If holding is this hard to call, I mean, you can't miss the hole. You cannot miss the hole outside. You can't miss. You can't. You just can't miss that.
You don't think you can miss that?
No.
You can't miss that.
No. I mean, I don't even believe there's holding by an offensive person, but I just saw one.
Allen, the carry there. It was Mason Bodine, the large 6'6", 6'7" D lineman, number 77, who had the pursuit there. Bodine was picked up off of waivers this week. He's a former Raider.
But now the Ravens are in a hurry up, and this is good for the Rams. This group, they need to see this. I feel bad for the depleted defensive line. These guys are about to get tired.
Well, is this, I don't want to say crossing the line. Painter to Thompson, complete, 42-yard line. But is there a code of conduct in the 4th quarter of the 4th preseason game?
It used to be, but now with the lack of practice time and what they do, what they cannot do in camp, the lack of 2-a-days and how they go about practice, you got to get these looks. You have to do it now in games. You got to use these games and do things more wisely and practice smart, because you don't want to be the team suspended for having double days when you weren't supposed to and doing the things that you shouldn't have been doing.
Almost picked off, incomplete there. Again, it's Burney. So you have no problem with this, Ross?
Well, I'm just surprised. I don't think Curtis Painter is going to make the Baltimore Ravens roster. They only kept 2 quarterbacks last year. Tyrod Taylor is clearly their number 2. So what they're doing right now is they're stretching out the game by going no huddle with Curtis Painter and throwing it all over the place with a guy that's probably not going to be on the team.
Think about this, offensive line-wise. You need to know, backup receiver-wise, you need to know what these guys can do. And this is the only time you have to evaluate them, because you can't practice as much as you used to.
But put yourself in Jeff Fisher's shoes. He doesn't care about John Harbaugh testing his 3rd team out and looking for depth here. Does he?
No.
He doesn't.
Not at all. I mean, this is good. This is what you want. You get to evaluate. You get to evaluate talent.
And we'll continue evaluation after this. 31-10. It's the Rams on top of the Ravens. (31-10) here. 11:52 remaining in the preseason. Rams set to go to 2-2 in this preseason, but regular season tickets on sale right now, as low as $225. StLouisRams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS. The only 2 places you ever need to remember to get in and see the Rams. StLouisRams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS. So we were discussing the Ravens and their strategy here in the 4th quarter. Still operating out of the shotgun, still throwing the football and going no huddle before that timeout. Ball knocked up in the air, and that's picked off. It's picked off by Pointer. And the pushing and shoving afterwards as well. Harewood threw him down.
You know, we've spoken a lot about Daniels and McLeod, but I've seen Pointer do a lot of good things as well.
And he
breaks
too,
on the ball, gets the catch. I love it.
He too, Ross is an undrafted rookie at a UNLV. The other two out of the ACC, Duke and Maryland. Fourth takeaway tonight for the Rams.
You know, when you make plays like that, you start to jump off the tape at the team and other teams, because playing in the slot is tough. To find a good slot defender is tough. And that play, I mean, that was a remarkable play.
Here's your guy, Austin Davis. He's into the game for the first time, and he'll hand to Chase Reynolds. So Austin Davis, the undrafted rookie quarterback out of Southern Mississippi, was looked so good in the preseason. Maybe those numbers don't say it. No touchdowns, 1 INT, but it's a different offense, guys, even late in games when he's in there.
Yes, it is. And when he comes in, you can tell the energy of the offense picks up. The line starts to block better. The receivers start to run better routes, and the running back runs good. I like his mobility. I like that he extends plays. And guess what? The game is not too big for Austin Davis.
Never has been. Certainly not at Southern Miss either. Davis will throw as well, and he will be sacked. Thrown down by Ishmaeli Kitchen.
He was trying to go deep to Nick Johnson. He was looking deep, and he was unsure of himself, Marshall, as to whether or not he was going to pull it. He almost pulled it, and they thought, nope. And by then it was too late.
And he'll learn. That's a coverage sack right there. He'll learn to throw that ball as far as he can down the field or out of bounds somewhere. That's a coverage sack right there. They call the perfect defense for the perfect offensive for that offensive play.
And Kitchen, who brought him down, is listed at 332. His name is Kitchen. He looks more like a house. 332. I'd be surprised if that number is accurate. Davis to throw now on 3rd and long. Sets up the screen. Can't connect with Reynolds. Punt time.
Oh, right there. Quarterback, you feel that pressure. You just need to bail a little bit more, put a little arc on that ball, and right there you have a great screen going.
It's rare for your boy Austin Davis to have a 3 and out. You're the charter member of the fan club there.
I am, and that was.
He'll make up for it. I bet he makes up for it.
That was a bad throw and a poor decision by taking the sack.
So the last 2 third downs by Ram quarterbacks. You had first down yardage sitting there. Clemens couldn't connect with Pede, and here Davis can't connect either with Reynolds as Rainey lets it bounce, looks, and the Rams will put it down on the 27-yard line. 31-10 with 10:15 left. Robert Quinn and that Rams defense has certainly done some things tonight. 4 turnovers forced in a 31-10 game. And it started right there with Quinn. The sack, the forced fumble, and the recovery. And then Janoris Jenkins, not only the pick, but a beautiful run back as well for 76 yards. And there's Pointer, the most recent pick as well.
And I think Jenkins is capable of making those type of big plays.
And listen, Jenkins, that was a touchdown, but the play Pointer made was awesome.
Well, not only can he make those plays, Jenkins can, that is. Not only can he make those plays, as Damian Barry carries the football for the Ravens, first action tonight, but you know, Jenkins can make those plays, guys, on special teams. If the Rams choose to use him as a punt returner, he can be dangerous there as well. Now, Danny Amendola is your punt returner right now, but you have that option if you want to put him back there.
Well, that's a good option to have. I mean, listen, you don't lose much by going to Jenkins. Maybe just a little inexperience and the different punters around the league. But other than that, ball in hand, those two guys are dangerous returning the ball.
It's still Painter in there at quarterback. Jeff Fisher says
please
reset the play clock.
25 seconds.
And that's what they'll do. 9:32 remaining. Painter still lining up in the shotgun. You know, we heard the Ravens, and actually we saw it on tape as well. They ran so much no huddle with their first team through the first 3 preseason games. The first team didn't play tonight, save for a couple of exceptions. But here in the 4th quarter, they are still operating out of a shotgun. Wind the play clock down to 8 as he takes the snap and throws that one complete to Logan Payne. He breaks the tackle and then gets tripped up near midfield. Again, it's Pointer with the tackle, and again, he saved the touchdown, maybe, or at least more yardage.
But before that, that's my guy, Rodney McLeod. He's got to make this tackle right there. It's okay if you let him catch it there, Marshall, when he's the hot, but you got to make the tackle right there.
And he will learn. Jeff Fisher will tell him, always drive on the upfield shoulder.
Barry juggles, but catches near the sideline.
Painter complete to Barry. Knocked out of bounds by Pointer.
They're flying around right now. I mean, I understand this defense and this defensive line, they're depleted, but right now this defense is flying around.
How much can you really learn, guys, in the 4th preseason game with these guys? We've talked so much throughout the summer, through the other 3 games, about guys trying to get on tape for the other 31 teams. You know, a lot of decisions are about to be made in the next 24 hours. I think, cynicism aside, many of those decisions have already been made. And again, there's Pointer in on the play. Many of those decisions have already been made. You playing for your own job right now, you're playing for a job somewhere else.
Listen, there's 31 other teams looking for players. And the quicker you learn and the more plays you play, people get a chance to evaluate whether, if you don't fit here, that you fit in their system somehow, some way. I mean, right there, you just saw a screen sniffed out and ran down.
And whether it's the Rams, whether it's the Colts, as this ball is connected down the seam, again, it's Logan Payne who kind of ducked out of the way of a big hit and then sat down for first down yardage on the 25.
Yeah, Curtis Painter is showing people right now, listen, if I'm not here in Baltimore, I could be somewhere else. I mean, he's making throws and running this no huddle like the veteran that he is.
It was Josh Hull there who almost came a call-in. Barry breaks a tackle and brings it inside the 10 as now Baltimore is driving. Painter didn't look that good. Let's be blunt. Last year when Peyton Manning couldn't get on the field and Painter came in there after Kerry Collins didn't work out, he did not look that good. But he has 4 touchdowns and 1 interception coming into this game. He's connected a couple of times tonight.
Well, listen, that team that he was playing on, and you could tell by what they did by putting guys around Andrew Luck, that they felt like the talent level on that team was not that good. Peyton Manning made a lot of things happen with less talent, and it just wasn't out there for Curtis Painter.
Barry's down to the field, shaking out that left arm as he gets some attention. It's our job to tell you that you should join Rams linebacker James Laurinaitis and some of his teammates coming up on Monday, September 17th. It'll be the 17th annual Rams and Make-A-Wish Celebrity Server Night of Wishes Dinner. Again, Celebrity Server Night of Wishes Dinner. For more information on how you can help the Rams make wishes come true, call 314-205-9474, extension 225. I'll say it again, 314-205-9474, extension 225, or visit mo.wish.org. And there is James Laurinaitis with 7 minutes remaining. First and goal for the Ravens. They are on the 6-yard line, and now Barry exits. Anthony Allen, second year back out of Georgia Tech, with movement on the line.
False start, offense number 60, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So back them up, they get Antoine McClain, the rookie out of Clemson.
Yeah, he can get sloppy late in these preseason games, especially the 4th preseason game.
You know, I said before that at the risk of being cynical, so many of the decisions have already been made. Guys, how many of the decisions, whether it's for the Rams or the Ravens or anyone else, GMs know really without watching that 4th game?
95%, but somebody will eventually, as you see the throw from Painter, what a grab.
Nice catch by Thompson for the touchdown.
Wow. That was impressive. But what I was going to say, Andrew, is this film will eventually be watched. Probably not within the next 24 to 48 hours because of all the transactions. But this film will eventually be watched, and they'll see Curtis Painter throwing a strike over the middle to Deontay Thompson. You said it, Marshall. Painter made enough plays here in the 4th quarter that someone might want him as the number 3.
It's a 7-play, 73-yard drive. Painter to Thompson, who got inside Daniels. And now the point after, Billy Cundiff no longer here. That's a Justin Tucker extra point, and we have a 2-touchdown game, 31-17, 6:25 remaining, fourth quarter, the Edward Jones Dome. Now Rams up 2 touchdowns on the Ravens, and don't forget, this one's almost over. That means the regular season right around the corner. Rams take to the road for the season opener, week 1, next Sunday, the 9th, when they travel to Detroit to take on Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, and the Detroit Lions. Game time, 12 o'clock. Lions, Rams, coming up. Can't get here soon enough. The season actually begins for the very first time on a Wednesday next week. Kickoff 2012 at MetLife Stadium when the Giants and the Cowboys go at it. A rematch of the same Week 17 game that ended last year. Here is an attempted onside kick or a timeout.
St. Louis.
A timeout.
Second charge,
That
timeout.
looked like an onside kick.
So it'll
Lineup
be a
guys, I was
30-second
reading the
timeout.
card.
Yeah, that was a good job right there by the special teams coach for the St. Louis Rams. Of course, John Fossil. He saw it, was ready for it, and he didn't know if his return team was ready for it, so he called timeout. He doesn't want to take the chance of getting the Ravens back in this thing. And how about the Ravens, Marshall, going with an onside kick?
What do you think?
Listen, if you know John Harbaugh, special teams is his thing. He loves doing stuff like this, getting it on tape. I'd be surprised if we don't see more of that. We might even see a fake punt from him tonight. He likes to show stuff in the preseason for down the road just to keep teams kind of at bay.
And again, this is the fourth quarter of the fourth preseason game. I'm sensing different attitudes. Ross, you think let's get the game over. Marshall, you think let's use all the time you can.
It's taken Ross a while to understand where the league has gone. You don't have the practice time you used to have.
I'm just surprised
in the league.
I think it's fine if he wants to do that. I'm just surprised he is.
He's going to kick it away, and it's short. Nick Johnson's up at the 18-yard line, and he will cover that ball up and go down on the 27. Time to recap how we got here in the fourth quarter. Your second half scoring summary brought to you by the Vinson Mortgage Group, the name you know and trust. The big highlight of the night at Janoris Jenkins' 76-yard pick six after Craig Dahl on a previous play had an interception and then a fumble. This one, Jenkins held on and took back to the house. Billy Badgema, good to see him back at the Dome. Not good to see him back in the end zone. He caught a touchdown pass from Curtis Painter. Here is Austin Davis, and he will go deep down the right sideline. Incomplete, but a flag is out. He wanted Nick Johnson. He got Asa Jackson for PI.
Yeah, Asa Jackson has to do a better job at playing the ball. I mean, every time you cannot touch a receiver while the ball is in the air. I don't care if you're looking back or not.
Harbaugh doesn't agree.
Yeah, he impeded the progress of the receiver.
I think they're waving it off.
Really? Looks that way. They're backing up.
There's no foul on the play. Second down.
I don't understand how that's possible. The side judge, who's right there, he's within 5 feet of it.
You tell
Look at the
me.
guy. He's right there.
You tell
He throws the flag.
God.
How can you wave that off? I don't understand how that can be waved off. The guy just saw pass interference and he threw the flag.
Yep.
Well, John Harbaugh wins his argument. So
That doesn't happen in the regular season. You can't win
It usually
arguments.
does not. 2nd and 10 here. So that goes as an incompletion. And Davis will pass. Play fake. Guduli dropped it. Had it side pocket, couldn't hang on.
And here's the thing about that for a guy like Ben Guduli. The reality is 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter of the fourth preseason game. A lot of these guys out here, this is the last time they'll ever put on a helmet shoulder pads. And there's a chance that Ben Guduli is one of those guys. That'd be a pretty bitter pill to swallow. If your last play is dropping a pass, you can see how frustrated and upset he is.
Certainly wish the best for Guduli, whether it's here or wherever. Final cutdown day coming up Friday. Got to be down to 53 tomorrow. Davis complete into the seam. That is going to be a first down, and that is Peterson, D'Angelo Peterson, rookie out of LSU, who is in a tight end logjam.
Now this throw is hard. This throw is, if you're getting the ball from under the center, a tough throw to make. In the gun, to catch it quick and deliver it and to hit the receiver in stride is hard. D'Angelo Peterson did a good job at getting upfield and getting the first down.
I love how quickly Austin got that out of his hand. I mean, he as soon as he caught it, it was out.
Probably a numbers game for D'Angelo Peterson. Austin Davis, though, we'd be surprised if he goes anywhere. Completion there, first down to the 40. Again, it's Chase Reynolds, and Chase Reynolds has a seam. Tried to cut it back to the inside and got tripped up on the 45.
Yeah, that's called faking yourself out. I've done that before. You put
Not that often.
You put a move on a guy so good, you trip yourself. I'm telling you, that hole that's a good wash down. And looking long on the comeback, on the peel black, when you notice the backside backer hasn't overcommitted yet.
Marshall, did you prefer grass or field turf or the old school?
I was an old turf runner. I played on grass all through college, and when I got the turf and I learned how to play on it, it was so much fun.
What does that mean, learn how to play on it?
Well, you have to learn how to play on turf because
nobody ever taught me. I just kept playing the same way I always did.
Maybe you're missing something.
Nobody gave me the lesson. What do you mean?
Yeah,
for running backs?
Yeah, for just I think for skilled players, you have to learn how to play on turf. There's certain cuts that on regular or natural grass you can't make, but on turf, I mean, you could roll out of your routes, you could lean into it. Some of my cuts, I didn't have to be as precise. I could lean heavy one way and make cuts because I knew once I planted my foot, I was going to have traction. Whereas in grass, I mean, if you're not careful and your feet are not underneath you'll slip anytime.
Reynolds about a yard shy of the first down. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Rams content on running the football here. Milking the clock, one would assume.
And this is good situational football right here. This 4-minute offense, run the football a little bit. This is you get a short yardage situation here. They get to evaluate these guys in this short yardage situation.
I hope they go behind right guard. Big Rock Watkins.
Maybe Gaduli gets another shot. Here's Gaduli in motion. It's going to be the handoff to Reynolds behind Gaduli. First down, yardage, and a flag at the end.
That's smash mouth football. I mean, that football works regardless of where you're at. That's attitude football. That's we need to get the first down, and you need 2 and you get 7.
Just power right there. Fullback kicks out, guard up in the hole.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 56. 15 yards from the end of the line. First down.
Yeah, here's what I like about that. Once you move the fullback to the right, you're telling everybody we're running to the right. You know it, we know it. What can you do about it? And
watch the finish by Gaduli right there too. Pancakes at the end. I love it. Chase Reynolds loses his helmet.
Yeah, Chase. Listen, Chase is a special teams demon, and he knows how to close out games at the end.
I tell you this as well about Chase Reynolds as he finds a hole over left guard and gets down maybe 5 yards, beg your pardon, the 10-yard line. You know, he looked good last year as well. And, you know, he bounced back and forth practice squad, ended up in Seattle for a little bit, but this guy had 59 career touchdowns at Montana. You know, he knows how to play some football.
He's got pretty good feet.
Yeah.
I just like to call a guy a football player. Regardless of what you ask him to do, return, be a gunner, personal protector against the punt, he can do it. Catch the football, run inside, run outside. That's a football player.
He was waived 3 times last year by the Rams. Might be a 4th, but he's certainly making a strong case for a job, whether it's here or somewhere, as he picks up a first down at the 5.
And he's the type of guy to me that if they do release him, he's a perfect practice squad candidate.
Now, right now, what he is he's trade bait. That's what they're doing. They're up an opportunity to trade him to somebody and get another player.
He's good feet.
That's a nice cut there.
I'm just telling you, like, this guy can be number 3. He could be number 3 on this team, let alone another team that needs a back maybe.
Not only effective as a return man, but also effective on coverage units as well here for the Rams, both this year and last year. That pile is moving. That ball is out, though.
That was a rugby scrum.
I don't know if you guys understand this, but I think that was carry number 5. That was 5 straight carries by Chase.
Ball came out. Ravens held it up at the end, but it's still Rams football. Take a look. And that is some power.
Look at Brian Madison pulling 2 Ravens.
This is the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left in the preseason. Chase Reynolds and the Rams knock it on the door. 31. All right, with 2 minutes remaining in the game, John Harbaugh has decided to throw his red challenge flag. Chase Reynolds, clearly the ball came out. He was ruled down, though, inside the 2-yard line. Guys, what do we see?
Well, I mean, we see him driving. It's whether his forward momentum is stopped and they blew the whistle. And that's what we don't know, and that's what you can't hear on the replay. Like, at that point in time, before that football came out right there.
Real speed, and watch 56 Chavis Williams hit Chase Reynolds below the belt as well. Do you catch that? Right there. See that? There's the whistle afterwards. 93 D'Angelo Tyson, the rookie out of Georgia, comes up with a football.
The problem is, I don't believe the refs have sound when they go under the hood. So it's based on when he thought that he blew the, I blew the whistle there. Or when the forward momentum is stopped is when the play stops.
Second time that Harbaugh has thrown a red challenge flag late in a quarter.
Hey.
Second quarter he did it on what could have been a lateral but ruled an incompletion on the field. And he's going to throw it here again with the Rams threatening. We're at the 2-minute warning. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ross Tucker, Andrew Siciliano, your Rams broadcasting network with David White as your referee. Now, normally, Marshall, or sometimes, it's not always an indicator, but when you're taking notes here, you know, sometimes we might think that's a turnover, but let's see. And again, 56 with the blow below the belt on Chase Reynolds. That ball's out.
I think it's a fumble.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't hear a whistle
The
on our
problem
audio until after the ball came out.
The problem is, regardless of when the whistle,
After review, the ball was out before the runner was down by contact. There was a clear recovery by the defensive team in the field of play. Therefore, the ball will be 1st and 10 for Baltimore at the 1/2-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
You know, that's the danger when you're moving a pile like that with 6 guys standing up and people trying to rip the football out of your hands. Fisher's still arguing.
but usually, and I know what Jeff is arguing. I know what Jeff, the forward momentum of the runner on his own was stopped. You
Clearly.
cannot push a guy into the end zone.
And you definitely can't do what Brian Madison was doing. You definitely can't yank 2 Ravens by the back of their jerseys, back of their necks, and
You saw
pull
that?
them like
I didn't see that. You saw that?
Like it's the tug of war in high school.
I didn't see that.
I
Did you
didn't see that. Did you see that?
You can't carry someone into the
I
end
didn't
zone.
see
Your
that,
own
Ross.
team, that is.
You know, for these head coaches, these preseason games, the replacement refs have to be so frustrating.
Curtis Painter's going to work out of the shotgun, standing halfway back in his own end zone. And he's going to throw incomplete with still 2:02 left on the clock, intended for Graham.
You say they're frustrated? I think they're happy as I don't know what to be out there right now. Called an NFL game?
No. I said the head coaches
Oh,
are frustrated
yes.
with the replacement
Oh,
refs.
without a doubt.
Well,
But
Last night, Tom Coughlin and Bill Belichick, they were looking at each other across the sideline like, what is going on?
yeah, and it's going to be that way because it appears to be we're going to have these refs for the start of the season.
The assignments have been handed out. However, it's a deadline league. You can always hope the 2 sides get together. Incomplete.
Oh boy, hey Rodney McLeod, he just knew he had one right there. I mean, he saw the ball was up in the air.
This is a
Oh my
2-minute
God!
Intended for Billy Badgerman. Now we have a 2-minute warning, but we'll keep it right here.
Look at the throw. I mean, that ball is high. He already had it. He was not expecting Badgerman to touch the ball.
He was already in the house.
Yes, he
Marshall.
was.
He already
Listen.
caught that and took it to the house.
Listen, that ball. He had his eyes set on that one. He thought he had him a pick 6 right there.
You know, and that's a good example. You know, guys, there's Billy Badgerman, a guy in his 8th year in the NFL out of Oklahoma State. You know, he's probably not expecting to play in the 4th preseason game with less than 2 minutes left, but he's trying to scrape one more year out. He's trying to get one more year.
Hitta and Dixon, the 2 lead Ravens tight ends, both injured, and neither was on the field tonight. Tonight's star of the game is brought to you by Hardee's and the grilled cheese bacon thick burger, only at Hardee's. Eat it like you mean it. And our star of the game, Sam Bradford, who came out, got the ball out of his hand quickly, and threw 3 touchdowns. This one to Austin Pettis. 11-16, 175 yards for Sam Bradford. There's Danny Amendola jumping into the end zone, the theme of the night. Although Hubble Manawanui didn't jump in, he twirled into the end zone. Janoris Jenkins later did on his pick 6. We'll hear from Sam Bradford after the game. Painter, incomplete. Again, over the middle, and again, that was Logan Payne. Incomplete. Pointer on the coverage.
And this was a heads-up play by Pointer. Listen, he gets beat inside, loses leverage, but stays in the hip of the guy.
St. Louis, their 3rd and final timeout.
Right there.
30 seconds.
Timeout taken by the Rams, their 3rd and final timeout. Logan Payne again incomplete. It's 4th down coming up, and it's punt time. So you know what? John Fossil's going to talk things over. Looking ahead to the schedule, we've told you about the regular season opener next week against the Lions. Told you countless times, and we'll do it again, about the home opener against the Redskins. That is Jeff Fisher Mustache Day. 2 difficult road trips, though, early against would-be NFC North playoff teams. That other one to Soldier Field. Then the Seahawks to open up the division schedule. And then Arizona, a road trip to Miami, and then the game in London. Coming up, Marshall, know you're going to that one against the Patriots at Wembley Stadium. Nick Johnson back to return if they get the punt off, and they do. Here is Johnson, and he's going to have room to return it. Fields at the 42, angles left to the 50 across midfield, and this slips down. The Terps made a couple of tackles. Kyle Quarles, though, is going to get credit for it as Johnson slipped down on the 47.
Did you have to learn how to run on the field turf, too? I'm being serious.
No, it was a different, well, I should say yes. I mean, it was a different adjustment. All 3 surfaces are extremely different. I found this harder to play on than turf and natural grass.
Why is that?
Really?
Sometimes it would grab and sometimes it would give. The unevenness of the field at times, it's just tough to play on.
Rams going to take a knee.
My favorite formation.
And that's going to do it for the preseason. Austin Davis will take a knee. We'll go down onto the field with Maurice Drummond immediately after the game for a little bit of reaction, and then wrap it up here in the preseason. It's been fun, guys. Marshall Falk, Ross Tucker. I'm Andrew Siciliano up here. Great crew down at the truck. Bobby Hayden, Matt Kroll, our director Scott Bay. Also, we've had fun bringing you these games. Jeff Fisher's first 4 preseason games as head coach of the Rams. Hopefully you guys at home have had fun watching as well on 13 stations throughout the Midwest here. Watching Rams preseason football. 1 minute remaining here. What should be an exciting season moving forward. It is a new feeling. It is a new era. There is new talent on this field.
A lot of talent.
A lot of new talent on this field as well. A lot of it we have seen in this preseason, and hopefully only good things ahead for that man and this team.
This is what they needed tonight. They needed to come out and have their ones play well. They needed Sam Bradford to look good. You know, the script they were looking for tonight came to fruition.
I like the fact that they were competing. You know, there's guys on this team competing amongst each other. There's jobs to be won behind starters, and you saw them competing.
Jeff Fisher jogs to midfield, shakes hands with John Harbaugh as they talk things over a bit. Looks to be a little bit more intense than your average end of the 4th preseason game handshake, but with that, it is done. And the Rams finish up at 2-2. 2-0 at home here at the Edward Jones Dome behind Sam Bradford, and 5 home touchdown passes. 0-2 on the road. They open up on the road next week in Detroit. Coming back, we'll go down to the field. Rams win tonight, 31-17.